Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, and so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show. Booyah!
Man.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
That's what it is.
Hey, this is a special panel. This looks, it got a different feeling to it, man. Welcome on to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Jay, you got the athletic. I know the athletic hat gear.
Oh, I got all kinds of athletic gear.
Do you? You don't share.
They charge enough. Cheap. I got paid for it.
They charge enough. They should have gear.
Man, can we cut that and start over?
Hey,
Roll the music. Welcome in. I didn't mean that.
Yeah,
this was actually a Christmas present. Yeah, right. This was a Christmas present.
We got Boogie back.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm part of the family. I'm locked in. Yeah, I'm here. Every Tuesday, just stay the seat. I don't think you got to put 7 chairs in here. One of them is mine.
Bugs walks in with the Hooter shirt on.
Oh, yeah. Look, Eli, listen, I'm going to get my money off.
Like, Hooters, Bills, Rudabakers.
Hey, speaking of Boogie, shout out Boogie
trying to
for
get
the
a deal.
first win of the USL season this past weekend.
All right.
The
Get on that board.
Ooh, we needed
now
it.
1 and 2. We're going to show Boogie had a fumble recovery, I believe, Boogie, right?
Mm-hmm. I tried to get loose, but I got about 3 yards on the recovery.
Three and a quarter.
That's better than none, right?
3 yards in the cloud of dust.
McNuggets, man, we got a packed show. We got 2 cats from the USFL today. USFL is infiltrating the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, man. This is crazy a little bit.
It is. Darius Victor's coming on. He was the Offensive Player of the Year last year. He squats like Nick Chubb. And he was listed, and Boogie, you know Darius well, so I'm going to tell you what he's listed at. We'll see when he comes in. His combine measurements, 5'7" and a quarter, 228.
Wow.
Now, did
5'7" and a quarter, 228.
How close is that to accurate? Is he really 5'7" and a quarter?
Use that combine testing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. They might have gave him an inch or two.
inch or two?
Yeah, they might have
That
gave him
means
an
he
inch or
can't
two.
get on no rides at Cedar Point.
Wait, hold on.
That's my guy.
227 at 5'7"?
Oh, you'll see him when he
That's a
come. You'll
bowling
see him when he
ball.
come in here like a little hamster on
Tank.
steroids. Yeah. He's a hamster. He's a hamster on steroids, but he's an amazing guy, amazing player, a guy you don't want to have to tackle, but he know when he have to see me in the hole. He know what's up, but he's tremendous, and I love that guy.
Man, we're going to see, man. We're going to get these dudes in here arm wrestling or something.
Yeah.
They
And
gonna
real
have
quick,
some competition.
this is from the USFL last week. Steve, take tag board full. This is Reuben Foster, Alabama linebacker, trying to tackle our guy.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's coming in studio. So
Run
be
that
careful.
back.
when
Hold
you
on.
take
That's
that.
how y'all gonna do that? That's how y'all gonna do it?
Right
Oh, is that against y'all?
You see it? Yeah, you know we don't say them colors, but you see what's again. Oh my.
I didn't even realize that.
It don't count because Ruben got a cast on. He got a cast on, so it doesn't count. He only got one full hand, and then the other one is in a fist, so it don't count. You got to wrap up and squeeze.
Did he get hit in the hand, or he got look like he got rolled over in the chest?
Oh man, we ain't gonna talk about it.
See, listen.
We gonna see him again. Don't even worry about it.
That's like the dudes
worry
that get
about it.
thrown down on, and they're like, I wasn't in the dunk picture. I wasn't really trying to block it.
Okay.
Man,
I slipped.
And the crazy,
that looked like some Dragon Ball Z type.
and he's posted every frame of that picture. I don't know how he got it. Like dun 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 dun. dun. He got him hitting them, then Ruben falling down. I don't know how he got them pictures.
That was a
but
reflect, bro. He was like, I'm not trying to see you today.
Hate it for you.
Hey, but big time win. Before we get to the Bulls better today, shout out to Bull. We need to get him back in here. He making y'all some money on these bets, but shout out big time win for the Guardians, man. Getting some of those Yankees, man. Listen, we'll take it. It was 3-2, right?
3-2. They
3-2?
pulled their starting pitcher 8 1/3 through 88 pitches. I don't understand the reasoning behind
Yeah, like
it.
why you do that?
Boone said he pulled him. I mean, obviously he had no faith in Herman, the Yankee starter,
Mm-hmm.
at all. As soon as their first sign of trouble, one hit, and they yank him. He said he didn't like the matchup with Rosario, and Herman's given up a lot of home runs. Well, Rosario's not exactly a power hitter. The Guardians don't hit home runs.
No.
So, I mean, hey,
I'll take it.
take it. Take it
Taking
and
all
run with
that.
it.
We'll take
Yeah.
that 3-2. Let's see if the Guardians can get back on the board. Let's get the Bulls best of the day.
It is Bull's bet of the day, and speaking of people being red hot, Bull was red hot, but he lost yesterday, his first loss in his last 5 bets, but he is still 19-9 now in baseball bets on the season. He's dipping back into the baseball pool, and as always, his bet of the day is brought to us by BetRivers. Hey, Ohio, BetRivers Online Sportsbook is the place to be for every single game. Right now is the perfect time to join BetRivers Sportsbook because when you use deposit code SPORTS, you receive a second chance bet up to $500. Get on all the action with weekly specials on your favorite sports like basketball, hockey, and baseball. To help you win big, check them out at BetRivers.com or download the BetRivers app today for the latest lines, odds, and boosts. Bull is going back to the baseball pool. He's taking the Braves on the money line against the Miami Marlins. Sandy Alcantara, the Cy Young finalist last year, on the mound for Miami. Bull is going against him and taking the Braves. I also bet with Bull. I'm going to start betting with him. He's making money for everyone, so I figured I like money. I'm going to join him.
Hey, hey, Mikey, did you go back? You know, Jay had some questions about the betting strategy. Did you ever figure out what's going on with that?
For Bulls?
Yeah, remember what Jay was like?
Yeah, there's some units and some I don't want to put this. Bull picks some games that would not have the highest of payouts, put it that way. He's a very safe gambler.
Okay. So he
Bet 100, win $2. Come on, Bull. Jesus Christ.
It's not that bad. But, hey, today he's going with a plus. Today he's going with a legit underdog on the money line to outright win. So,
I'm rocking with him. I'm going to rock with him.
I am too.
I'm going to rock with that. I'm going to rock with him.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the last time I'm sitting in this chair because those ad cameras, I feel like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands when the camera comes on.
Yeah, so look, you just be.
I'm just going to pull the eject cord every time and go like this.
Pull some old G. Bush clips.
Yeah, I can't. I can't be G. We all know that.
G going show him
That's when you touch your foot. Well, that's what you do when you done took something you don't know what it is in college. You be like, what the hell? I'm in a different place right now. I can't feel my arms. Go ahead.
What was they giving you at college? Hold on. What was they giving you at college? Hold on now.
Extra.
We're going to get into our first topic of the day here, which has to do with the Browns. And you know, if we're talking Browns, we're talking Lincoln Electric. They are the leading manufacturers in the welding and electricity field as Jason slowly dies from the money he would have if he didn't work at the Athletic and worked at Lincoln Electric. With that being said, the Browns made 7 draft picks over the weekend.
Okay.
Of those 7, which rookie has the biggest year 1 impact?
Yesterday. So I'm gonna toss this because I kind of threw this out there earlier. I said it's a 3rd round, 4th round, 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. I mean, how bad you gonna get if you don't, these guys aren't really starting for you or have big impacts. I'll start with you, Brad.
Mikey, pull up your list.
When we look at these impact guys, as far as Siaki Ika, you got you got the receiver Tillman.
Cedric Tillman.
You got Mitchell.
These are the first Jones. 4 picks. If you need a little.
So we
reminders.
can stop right. We can stop right there. You ain't gotta give me the list, right?
Oh, you ain't even go past these ones.
I don't have to.
All right, go ahead.
Why should I? So here, let's get to the meat and potatoes here, right? So you got all your money on your man behind the center, right?
Yep, Watson.
So job number 1 is to make sure that he doesn't go down in the dirt. I have this shirt on for a reason, right? So that tells you, bring up your list, Mikey. That should tell you exactly what I'm thinking.
So you going to tell me.
Jones on the offensive line
to
ensure your boy Watson don't go down in the dirt.
Oh, now hold on.
This is where I'm going, right? I'm loyal to the team.
It's a biased pick, man.
Well, loyal to the team. You look up, we everywhere, right?
Except on the offensive line,
right?
Because he ain't starting.
Listen. Okay. you ain't see your boy CJ going down in the dirt.
now you got. So here's the thing.
Now they picked your boy up. They just 5th year somebody out, and I did like this. We're 5th yearing that.
Yep, they definitely got him 5th yeared up.
I said, why would we do that? No one can answer.
Well, look, I think the thought process was, all right, if he turns out to be better this year, we got something. If he don't turn out to be better, we still got him for a decent enough price. And we still got injury-prone dudes on the right side.
Let me tell you, big-time sports at the top level is all about this. How you trending? So he not trending well, right? I'm not one. You don't have to tell me 100 times. You don't have to show me 100 different equations. Either you are or you aren't, right? He didn't have an ample enough opportunity, right? At some point, I'm from the old school. We break it off for you.
Well, let me ask you this, Boogie, because we haven't really delved into Cedric Wills. You play defensive line. If you see the scout report and you see a lineman you go against, offensive lineman, and they say on the scout report does not finish his blocks, what do you think when you're going up against a guy like that? And you see maybe somebody can get a move on him and he stops in the middle of the play. What's your thought process on film?
My first thought process is he don't have that dog in him. Because especially at that position, the offensive line, you definitely are taught to finish every block. You may miss a block, but if you finish, that can help you recover. So if I see an offensive lineman, he quitting, he giving up, because my first move might not work as a defensive lineman, but I know if I can outwork him, I have a better chance of getting a sack. So I look at it like that's barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. I see a guy that's going to give up and be lazy during the snap and not give 100% effort every time and is inconsistent. That's how I look at it. Oh, it's barbecue chicken. I'm finna eat.
Now, Jason, you've been on record. You talked about it before, and you talked to Stefanski. You talked to Barry. They like the progression of one Cedric Wills. What are you the thoughts on them extending him in the pick of DeJuan Jones? What does that mean?
I think it's a supply and demand issue, really, at the position. We said yesterday, thought Jack Conklin was going to retire, and then they gave him an extension. It was like, what? So that's more worrisome than Wills. I think Wills, we talked about it yesterday. Wills' good plays are fine. His bad plays are awful. And his bad plays are the easy ones to pick out because he just stops. He just stops. And you can't have that, especially as a left tackle. So I don't think Jed Wills is going anywhere. I think he's going to be in Cleveland for a long time. And it's where are you going to find something better? And maybe DeJuan Jones becomes something better, but I think that's the Jack Conklin replacement on the right side. I don't think that's for Jed on the left side. It is what it is. You've got him this year and next year, and really I think beyond that, he's not elite by any means. He's certainly not Hall of Fame level, which is what you're used to with Joe Thomas. He's a step down from that. But there are worse out there than him, and I think he is what he is. He's a average, standard left tackle, and you run the risk of not being able to replace that. Where else are you going to go? Where else are you going to find a left tackle?
Here's the problem in this town, right? You don't call spades a spade, right? If something show you that it's not it, it's just believe it. It's not, right? And it's okay.
I don't think he's great.
So here's the story. When you tell me, you basically telling me we got to live with it. I don't have to live with nothing, right? I saw the work, right? You got a chance. Now this is for pros. They gave you a shot. Either you did or you didn't.
So where are you going to find it? Where are you going to find another left tackle?
I'm a go with another direction. I'm not going to keep running to the same brick wall. I'm not, right? I'm just not, right? This here, you got $230 million invested in a dude,
Yep.
right? Right? You have a piece here that is very questionable at best.
He's average. I think he's
questionable
very
at best.
He's average.
Right? Mm-hmm. So we go in the market with this?
I'll say this. I think it.
Or you telling Deshaun Wayne there, watch your side on the side.
I think there's what I love about all these draft picks is now you got an opportunity to have somebody behind you looking both ways. See, I like people looking behind themselves. I like competition.
So do I.
Absolutely.
I like to have people in the room, and what I like to do is I like to mix it up a little bit. I'm like, hey, so and so, hey, give me some reps at guard real quick. Let me see what you got right there. Real quick.
Brad Sellers, Scottie Pippen. Brad Sellers. I'm looking back.
Hey, Scotty.
He coming again?
Hey,
he coming again?
And they'd be like, hey, Scotty, let me see if you can run point too. You run point? What? You got this dude running point? Now B.J. Armstrong looking around. What? They got Scotty doing everything out here, bro. This is unacceptable. Yeah, that's the way it works.
That's the way it works. That keeps everybody on. That keep everybody honest,
on their toes,
right? Keep everybody honest, right? Because in this game, Boogie knows in this game, you can cloud yourself to thinking you actually getting it done when you're not getting it done. Because your mama called you and told you, son, you did great.
Or it ain't nobody threatening you behind you. But that's the signs of a great organization and a good team is when one guy goes down or there's not a huge drop-off. The sink doesn't shit because one guy goes down. So hopefully he can provide depth because I don't see him starting this year. But he wasn't even my pick. I was going to ride with the big boys. I was going to go with Siaki
Ika. That's
Siaki Ika.
See, big fellas think alike.
Yeah,
I was right
Ika.
on that same page with you, dog. That was it.
Because in my thought process at first, I'm like, this is a 4-3 scheme. He's a two-gap and nose guard. Where are they going to play him? But when you look at the numbers, their run defense was terrible last year.
Awful.
It was awful. So my thought process is the guys upstairs are like, even though he might not be the perfect fit, we need somebody that's going to stop the run. So we'll build around him. So I feel like he's going to be the best rookie. He's going to make the biggest impact because you got to win on first downs. If you want Myles Garrett to eat and get you double-digit sacks, you have to put him in the opportunity to do so, which is get teams in 3rd and longs, 2nd and longs, but you have to win on first downs. As a pass rusher, we talk about you have to earn the right to pass rush. And by doing so, you got to stop the run. Yep. And my big fella right here, Ika, he's going to do that. I'm excited to see him play.
Yeah, this is my pick too. And this is an easy one because I look at the roster and I say, okay, which guys is more likely to get on the field? It's always difficult as an offensive lineman unless there's an injury or you out and out just outplay a guy head and shoulders above, right? If you're a receiver, you're more situational, especially when you got tacticians like Amari Cooper. You got DPJ who's been in the system a lot, Elijah Moore. There's a lot of people ahead of you. You got to learn the system and you got to make more plays than somebody. But when you talk about the defensive front and when you look at the defensive line and what they were able to, well, I would say not able to do, which is stop the run. It was the greatest hits last year. One of the biggest hot takes in the world was the Atlanta Falcons running 14 straight run plays with guys from the parking lot getting 12 a pop. And I'm like, these is they just reset it. It was like, man, they can't stop it and fatigue is on. Guys was holding their shoulders. This guy, Boogie, they're not going to be able to move him up out of there with no one guy. He's not going to be flying out of there on down blocks. He's not going to get washed.
Not on duty. Not on duty.
That is not going to happen. And you can tell them how important is it to have somebody that can anchor and hunker down when they is trying to double team you and move to the next level, because that's what they're trying to do. They're really trying to move the nose to the second level and then spill off and hit one of the linebackers. How important is it to have a guy to keep the linebacker clean?
It's very important. The front end and back end works together. If you can keep your linebackers clean and allow them to read and just run free and make plays, your run defense would be improved dramatically very quickly. So I feel like by them taking him, he's going to take up doubles. There should be nobody in the league, I don't care, all-pro, to be able to single block this dude based on how I've seen him play. So I feel like he's going to be able to help them. He's going to penetrate. He's going to have to get better at pass rushing because he didn't have many sacks. He didn't have any sacks last year and for the year before. So the talent is there. Just hope this D-line coach can unlock it. But for now, they're bringing him in strictly to stop the run because that defense is terrible. We'll worry about pass later. We draft you 3rd round, come stop the run. Linebackers be able to roam free, and then we'll be able to see Myles Garrett get after it. Those DBs do their thing, and you'll see the front end and back end working together. And hopefully in 23 we'll see an improved Cleveland Browns defense.
So, Boogie, let me ask you a question because DeQuell is on here with us, right? And he thinks JOK is washed. He thinks it's a waste of effort here. Right?
True.
So do you think that with the addition of Siaki here on the front line, that unlocks JOK's ability? Because, see, DeQuell doesn't think that he has the skill set, the natural skill set to be a linebacker.
Okay.
Right.
The instincts to read and direct. And it feels like
the size.
In the size. If somebody touch him, it's done. It's like freeze tag. If he get touched, he's out of the play. Do you think a undersized linebacker who may have a little bit of issue with reading his keys is helped by a very strong defensive line?
Absolutely, because now this gives him a couple more seconds to read his keys. Because probably last year, the O-lineman down set go, offensive lineman probably in his face already, or the D-line getting pushed back to him. Now this will give him more time to be able to read and dissect what's going on, and hopefully, instinctually, he's able to make more plays. If he doesn't get it done this year with this guy in front of him, then all hope is lost. But let's give him one more year to play behind a more stout defensive line and see what he can do before we just give up on the guy.
We said yesterday the linebacker position has been devalued. Like, I think that's pretty obvious.
Obviously, just like running back, I would say.
Yes, we said that. Yeah. It's the running back of the offense. Yeah. Has the role of the linebacker changed in the last 4 or 5 years, or just the amount of them on the field? You know what I mean? Like, to me, there's a difference in how many you're playing and what you're asking them to do.
Absolutely, because it's a pass-happy league now. You know what I'm saying? So linebackers aren't as important as back in the early 2000s when it was a run-heavy league. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really – now you try to get as much coverage people on the field as possible. You try to sneak in an extra coverage guy, we can take out a linebacker and bring in an extra coverage guy, so that drops the value of a linebacker, unless you have a guy like Fred Warner, who's an amazing linebacker who can also cover and fill gaps and things like that. But those guys are a dime a dozen. It's tough to find those guys. So unless you can find you a very good coverage linebacker, the value of them are very low right now.
Yeah.
I think it's a trickle down theory as you go to safety too. Like back in the day, you used to have a box safety and a high safety. And that box safety was more like a linebacker than anything. Your Brian Dawkins of the world.
Ooh.
You even look at John Lynch. Heck, Mike Doss was a box safety.
You can't hit like you used to back then. You blow your breath on somebody, it's a
It's
flag.
a flag, right.
So you have bad breath, and it's a flag. You touch somebody, it's a flag. So
Halitosis taking people down.
I feel like that position has been devalued just by the rules, and it's unfair because safety, they see everything. They're the backbone of the defense. They have to. I feel like every other position can make a mistake. D lineman can get out of a gap one play. A linebacker can miss a tackle. But a safety got to defend every blade of grass. He cannot miss a tackle at all.
For me, I'm waiting to see when it happens, but I'm waiting to see which team says, you know what, we're not even starting safeties no more. We're going to corners. So I'm going to play 4 corners in the back. And when linebackers, now my old linebackers that we used to traditionally have linebackers, them are safeties now. So I want my safeties playing linebacker. And then corners, your elite corners will be up front. So what I want, though, is even at the linebacker positions, I want safeties that still can cover, that still can run. Because what they bank on you doing is, especially teams like you got George Kittle, and especially with the Kansas City Chiefs, they say, all right, well, look, keep throwing that linebacker out there. And Travis Kelce keep killing people because you can't cover him with no linebacker. So, I would have to force them to do that. Even when you look at defensive ends, the defensive ends are now they're more of what we would traditionally call stand-up outside linebackers. Those guys are now getting upfield, and they don't really worry about the run too much. They just say, hey, listen, you rerun on the way to the quarterback. So everything is getting downsized a little bit, going to more speed, more packaging, and things like that. But there are a couple of downs where you take the time machine and go back to the 2000. That's first down. Because first down is a rundown. It is definitely guaranteed a rundown. So you see bigger guys like this be able to get on the field and be able to contribute at a high level because it is more of a rundown. Does anybody else have anybody else that you think is the biggest?
Well, I think we have to start with the fact that we're starting in the 3rd round here. So this isn't a normal, first round. These guys fell to where they fell for a reason. I think Tillman can make an immediate impact, but I kind of agree. I think Siaki Ika could be the long-term play in terms of this class. But Tillman fills a specific need early, and the size, just the prototypical 6'3" size, and the fact that, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but when Deshaun breaks the pocket, when he's scrambling, when he's trying to freelance and make something happen, there's going to be times where you just need a jump ball. You need a guy who can go up and get the ball. And I think Tillman can fill that role. It could be hard for him to get on the field early in 1st and 10 situations, but I think red zone, he absolutely is a target. Is just a guy who can just go up and high point the ball. And what a luxury that is that they didn't really have last year. We talked about DPJ struggling with that at times last year. And to have a guy who's comfortable with that, who has the size, who can just out-jump guys in the back end. You now have 2 guys, really, Njoku and Tillman, who should be able to out-jump the coverage and go up and get the ball. So I do think Tillman could have a role in this, but I just wonder how much over the length of 17 games, how expanded that role will be, barring injuries. Where Ika, we've talked about just being able to roll guys in. They haven't had that. Just the competition, they haven't had that. The competition at defensive tackle, the competition at receiver going into camp this year. Hopefully it's, the best guys play. And Ika, I think, will have plenty of opportunities to get on the field. And I can't remember the last time that they had someone in this size. Just the mass of him and being able to move him. He's certainly bigger than anything that they've had the last couple of years.
Another point on the Tillman thing, I feel like if you want to get the true return on your investment with Deshaun Watson, you have to bank on cheap picks in late rounds because they don't have any money to go pay anybody else, right? So if you want to get a true return on your investment, you have to hope Tillman can come in and make plays and be a true number 2, or hopefully at best a number 2 right now, because if he's a true number 2, That'll help Amari Cooper out. You can get a return on your investment there. So I feel like that's what they're banking on. Hopefully he can come in, be that stretch guy, that jump ball guy, make plays so you can open up everything underneath for Amari Cooper, give Deshaun Watson 2 weapons on the outside with Njoku in the middle, and everything is smooth sailing, especially with that running game. So that's my thought process on why they took Tillman with their first pick, trying to get a cheap weapon because you have no money, no draft capital to go and find anybody else. So
they have not had a good record on third-round receivers, but hopefully Tillman changes that. What do you got, Mikey?
Yeah, I'm glad you guys brought up Tillman because I had a point to make on Tillman if no one else did. And this point is so good, it's brought to us by Lorraine Community College. Your classes, your future. Register now for summer and fall classes. You can learn more at lorainecc.edu. to learn more. Steve mixing up the camera shots. I appreciate it, Boogie.
Boogie said, I ain't going back to school.
Hey, I did 8 years. I ain't going back. I did 8 years. I'm not opening up another book. I'm done.
My one point on Tillman, and this is something I think we're not overlooking, but we're going to have to see how it plays out, is Deshaun Watson still developing chemistry with all his receivers. Mm-hmm. I know he was here last year. He's worked with Cooper. He worked with DPJ, Elijah Moore they brought in, Marquise Goodwin. David Bell's been in the mix. I don't think he has a dynamite connection with anyone in particular yet. And if he develops it with Tillman right off the bat, some guys just kind of have that inherent connection. You see in basketball. Sometimes a big and a guard, they read off each other. They play the pick and roll perfectly. You see a new quarterback come in. He has a safety blanket. Tillman's a guy with the size and athletic ability to potentially, and I'm not saying he will be, but potentially kind of become a safety blanket early on if him and Watson can click. So while he continues to develop his connections with Moore, DPJ, Cooper, all those guys, it wouldn't shock me to see Tillman come in if he has that immediate connection, get in the lineup, break that 2-3 deep receiver set earlier than expected. And as Jason alluded and what Boogie said, he's got the athletic ability to make contested catches in the red zone, which is something they lacked last season.
See, McNugget, she done stole all my stuff. Yeah, I feel like you jumped in my phone and I was saving that. I was saving it in my head like if Jay was over here with that board. I was like, nobody ain't said this yet. This is gonna hit different. And then here you go walking out here stealing my stuff. But I'll give you an analogy though. Hey, y'all ever been new in school? Right? You know what I'm saying? Been new, or you go to another grade. So you don't be in the same class with everybody, right? It'd be like and you from LA. So I feel like y'all get new people every week.
All the people coming in.
People just coming and going.
Gotcha. Yep.
Right? So you see that new girl over there, you like, hold on. Every year it's a different game plan, right? She might not even have seen you right now. And for some reason, some people just like you. You like, listen, I'm the new dude. Listen, some gonna hate me. A lot of these dudes gonna be hating, but two of these fly girls gonna like me. I just gotta keep myself prepared. I gotta keep my cologne on. I gotta keep my Tommy Hilfiger on. That's what we were back in the day. The Techno Ring, the FUBU. I had all the FUBUs with all the joints, the bright FUBU. Yeah, people don't remember that. And then when Polo came out, I said, y'all ain't even got no Polo. This is true Polo, not the swap meet Polo. This is not Polo Assassin. This is legit Polo. And so you know what? People might like you. You like, man, this joint like me right here. I'm in here. But you got to be fresh. It's the same way in football. Deshaun Watson really ain't chose nobody yet. All these quarterbacks, there's always all these top elite quarterbacks. How often have we seen it where you get this top flight quarterback and all of a sudden they say, Aaron Rodgers likes this guy in camp. Tom Brady really likes this guy. He's been he was with the threes. Now he with the 2.5s. Like he getting some reps on the nickel pack. He's going to develop a chemistry with one of these receivers, and they're going to get elevated. It's going to be Donovan Peoples-Jones. Could be him. Could be Elijah Moore. It could be Amari Cooper. Heck, it could even be Cedric Tillman. Because when you got a big body, when you got a different skill set than other people, and you new, and you young, all he got to do is make a couple plays, right? Because he done seen Donovan Peoples-Jones for 6-7 weeks. This a new guy. He might like him, bring him in, and he might be a sleeper, especially if he catches a few red zone targets, it's going up and high point the ball. So you could be a new dude and get it off. You can be a new dude and get that off, and all of a sudden we look at Cedric Tillman a little different because it all depends on how many targets you're gonna get. Because it take a little bit of faith to throw the ball to somebody who covered. Because all of them look covered. He just got to throw it in there. That was so cold. Didn't nobody even have nothing to say. They just shut up.
I'm speechless.
I'm stymied over here. I'm like,
He got me reminiscing about my days at school. All them shots I was taking it off.
we just looking for somebody to make a play. How about that? Do that, right? Let's start there, right? We're gonna get this boy a whole training camp, right? Whole OTAs, training camp. Give him every tool he needs to be effective, right? Because we need him effective under that center. We do.
I'll tell you what, this brings me to a nice little segue, right? There is, when you talk about these positions and who's going to make the most impact, there's a couple of position groups, man, that is packed. We're going to get to this happy face, sad face situation. And McNuggets is going to explain it, but there's there's a position group. I would say D-line, I would say offensive line is really packed now. Wide receiver group is really packed right now. So we're going to figure out who's going to make these rosters. Really, it's a little early. We don't know what's going to happen. However, it's going to be a little judgment zone.
It is, and this segment is brought to us today by PCC Airfoils. If you're looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits, well, PCC Airfoils is the leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Menor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions started at $18 and up, plus full benefit packages, paid time off, and signing bonuses. You can apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more.
Oh, I hate this chair.
Hey, Jason got to get low. Like, he got to keep getting lower,
I'm
bro.
low to begin with. I shouldn't have that far to go.
So just to set this next topic up, two things to preface. One, we know this is way too early.
Yeah.
Way too early. A lot's going to change between now and when the Browns have to cut their roster down to 53 spots. The premise of this is looking at some of the positions, as G alluded to, that they have more numbers than they can possibly keep. And we're going to pick and choose who we think at the end of the day will end up being on that Week 1 53-man roster and who will not be. So we have almost 20 of these. Boogie, it's your first time here. Boogie is playing the role of Tyvis. If you think he will make the Week 1 roster, you're going to give me the happy face. If you think he will not make the Week 1 roster, you're going to give me the sad, upset face. We're going to start.
I only got 2 happies, though. I need 1 and 1, don't I?
No, that's not.
Yeah, Tyvis is always happy, even though he looks.
Yeah, Tyrus is sad, is still happy.
Oh, you got to smile. Okay.
So we're going to start with the Browns wide receiver room, where they have 13 receivers currently under contract.
Yeah.
We don't know how many they will keep. But, Steve, you can take the first one. We will go down the line in order. Jakeem Grant, will he be on the Browns Week 1 roster, yes or no?
Absolutely will.
And we have a split decision. Jason says no, 3 yeses. Jason, why no?
Because they have other guys that prove they can hold the role of punt returner, and that was his biggest value. So, and they've got too many other guys that they have to keep.
Who was that?
DPJ will be the punt returner next year.
Man, that's
What?
come on, man.
You feel DPJ going back
What,
there?
9 years this year?
Huh?
Come on, man.
Check back in August.
Jay, he did a good job. I mean,
did.
decent job.
He did.
But that's not the guy I want returning punts.
They can't sacrifice a spot on Jakeem Grant right now just for punt returns. I'm telling you, he's not going to be on the team.
How much money they give him? Did we hear a 2-year deal?
Not a ton.
Okay. Man, I mean, he's a bubble candidate, but they talked about him way too much. They was running him out way too much about him. Like, I mean,
them's the breaks.
Nah, they made the breaks.
Them's the breaks.
Is he still fast?
Them's the breaks.
Yeah.
Is he still?
It's a numbers game, and you'll see.
Oh no, I done the math on him. Somebody got to go.
And that's him.
Wait till we go down this list.
All right, come on, let's keep going.
Coming.
Anthony Schwartz. Will anyone make the case that Anthony Schwartz will be on this
Man,
team?
he out of here.
No.
All right, hold on.
Oh,
Gee,
gee,
you're
stop
gonna try?
playing, man.
Hold
Stop playing,
on. Let me do something real quick. Let me speak. Now, Anthony Schwartz, I'm just going to tell you this. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not even saying it's probable. But I'm going to let you know. If you saw me on Twitter, I was going crazy about Jalen Hyatt because speed is intoxicating. It's something about seeing a man leave somebody with the football in his hands, running into the end zone.
You know what happens when you're intoxicated? You make bad decisions.
Thank you. So, look, I'm just saying, if he make a couple of plays against the 2s and 3s, I'm telling you, everybody and their mom going to say, and the light bulb has gone on for Anthony Schwartz. Anthony Schwartz has finally figured this thing out. Against 2s and 3s. I'm telling you, it's going to be a little more difficult.
Put your sign up. Which one?
But he ain't about to do none of that. He about to get smoked.
Boy, you be drinking your own Kool-Aid.
Smoke show. He's not yet. No,
Outta
he's
here.
out of here.
Before we move on,
moving.
I want to just remind everybody, a week from today is our 1-year anniversary show. We are doing the Best of the Year awards, and I may have had to make an extra submission for Worst Take of the Year if G had thrown the happy face on. G, you saved yourself. You are not on the Worst Take. Well,
Not
you're on for
so
a different
fast,
take.
my friend.
You're on for a different take, but it's okay.
Yes.
Next,
We got to
David
start
Bell.
checking people NIL deals. G might have his own NIL deal lining these people up. I'm like, boy,
David-
stop playing.
David Bell.
David Bell.
Third-round pick last year. Underwhelming as a rookie. Showed a little bit of promise, but is anyone ready to give up on him?
Nah, I ain't
He
ready.
gets
to
another chance.
I ain't
being a
ready to give up on him.
Third-round pick. He gets another year being a third-round pick just off the fact
We got to just check it.
invested a third-round
Yeah.
pick. You barely got draft capital. in
He
that.
gonna get it. He gonna get some money. David Bell is like a 4 of spades. When spades has been played, it ain't really cutting nothing. You can't cut nothing with that 4 of spades
Unless you hold it long enough.
Unless somebody got a whole hand of offsuits and clubs and hearts, I'm gonna give him another chance. Kevin Stefanski raved about him all last year. I personally said he was there. We'll go up to get to. He gonna have him in that 5 wide package where he used to check it down. What's the tight end we had a couple years ago? Hooper.
Austin Hooper.
He's now the smaller version
He'd
of Hooper.
fall over every time he caught the ball.
Yeah, they're going to go 5 wide the first play of every game, and they're going to throw it to David Bell for 3.5 yards.
All right, so everyone has agreed he's coming back. What about Demetric Felton,
Oh, God.
a hybrid potential returner?
All right.
You can tell me he's a running back.
Uh-oh.
That's what, like,
if
you
you want
gotta-
to make the case as a running back, this is just, will he be on the team next year?
Uh-oh.
No.
Look, now Jay
Brad
over
says
here.
emphatically
Now,
no.
Jay, come on, Jason. Come on. What you want to say?
All right. As of now,
What we doing?
as of now, he's the 3rd string running back, but I think they probably changed that. So I will say no, he's not on the team. He's definitely not in the receiver room. That's not happening. But he could be the 3rd string running back. As of now, he's the 3rd string running back. He's the 3rd running back on this team. Who's the 3rd running
He
back?
is right.
Man,
he is
let me
currently
tell
the
you
third-string
something.
running back.
I don't care. Let me tell you something. The Browns are in last place. Stop being married to things. Stop it.
I want to do a change.
You're infuriating me.
I want to do a change. I feel like Demetric Felton, given his dual citizenship,
Oh, Lord.
I think that he also returns punts. I feel like if
And
he can,
kicks.
kicks, I feel like if he can return punts and kicks, I feel now like Jakeem Grant is now on the outside looking in, and then I'm gonna give the smiley face to Demetric Felton due to his dual citizenship.
Boogie, what Boogie?
Oh yeah, I got him. I got him making it.
You got it.
Okay.
Tell me
Because
got
I got him
Two
making it.
yeses, 2 no's.
Like you said, when it's coming down to these last few roster spots, and when you got a Renaissance man that can do multiple things, I feel like that's what's going to save him, as opposed to bit.
Yeah, we in the bad. We got to save people now.
But we say
Let me just say this. And Boogie may be right. Right. This may how it shake out. When you're on a top tier organization, they don't care about that. Either you can or you can't. Right. Otherwise, you're making excuses for people.
Yeah.
We're talking about the 3rd string running back. We're not
No,
talking
we're talking about
the
putting
starter.
a 53-man roster together that can help me. Right. We have pieces that we couldn't even play.
But he can help you.
It's symbolic of other pieces, other teams in this town.
But the reason he gonna get this nod over the rest of these dudes is because if I say, okay, Demetric Felton, you average at kick returns, okay, he can return a punt. He can return. If something happened, he can return a kick. If something happened to the running game, I put him at third string running back.
So, G, hold on. Just humor here. Say we kept Jakeem Grant, right?
Right.
All right? You're keeping David Bell, right? You're going to keep Goodwin, right?
Okay.
You got Cooper, DPJ, right?
That's 5.
Right.
Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman. That's
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why Jakeem Grant ain't making it.
Somebody here, somebody got to give here,
Right.
Now, your punt return game was awful.
Right.
It's been awful for years, right?
So you saying you done already saw what it was with Felton because he was here.
Saw it there with DPJ.
You saw it with DPJ because I give you that. if you say I've seen what I've seen, I need it better. Jakeem Grant is a guy who brought it in, and he was supposed to get us better. I want to see that.
How many times you gotta go look at the Chevy Cruze to find out it's a Chevy Cruze?
Yeah, you're right.
It ain't gonna turn into a Toyota Tundra.
Okay, I can see where you're going with that.
We got one more receiver. Anyone think Marquise Goodwin, who they signed this offseason, will not be on the 53-man roster?
Oh, he's gonna be on the 53-man roster.
He's making it.
Yeah, come on now.
He's gonna be on the roster, baby.
The position you looking for, the fight is between Grant. Schwartz, Felton. Grant Schwartz, Felton.
Special teams gonna save one of these guys, and it's gonna send the other two packing.
Right. Yep.
Literally, that's what it's
Now,
gonna come
if
down to.
Jakeem Grant, because they had hyped him so much for these punt returns, right? Then he tore his Achilles, right?
So he might come back and be slow.
Right.
I don't know.
So we don't know.
They got some good doctors nowadays.
Of those three, Felton is the most likely right now to be on the team, but you could see a situation where another team cuts a guy that they like better, that he could be he's on the roster after the cuts, and then when someone else goes, they cut him. And
Don't sleep on these spring league players coming now.
Hey, listen, hold on.
I'm going down to Birmingham. I'm gonna watch me a game down in Birmingham.
Oh, we played them this week. We play them on Sunday.
I ain't going this weekend. So
Well, come. You talking about Birmingham? Come watch us look on the
My
Stallions,
man
man.
told me it's down in Canton. I gotta come down to Canton.
Down to Canton.
Yeah, it's right down the street. That's what we put down.
Now I will say now here's the thing. There was who's the dude that he went to TCU.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
This guy.
Turpin? You talking about Devontae Turpin?
Yeah, Turpin. Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah,
Man.
he come back and running kicks for the Cowboys. Yeah. And that's I'm glad you brought that up. There's gonna be somebody in every single camp that's an undrafted free agent or a 4th, 5th round, 6th who that you didn't even think about.
Happens every year.
And that dude gonna come in and outplay everybody, and you gonna have to put him on the roster, and it happens every year. So we can't account for that. But there is gonna be somebody that go to the Browns camp that Mary Kay or Darryl Ryder or Grossi or Jason Lloyd come back and say, hey, listen, this kid, I'm gonna tell you what, wait till y'all see him.
Boogie, let me ask you a
I'm
question.
going to take somebody's job too. So
Boogie, tell me about? I'm glad you asked that. You said that the pathways, USFL to the NFL. Do you guys feel like they give you a legitimate shot for a clear pathway?
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding. You know, I believe last year was almost like around 60 guys signed from the USFL.
How many stuck?
Probably like 10 to 15. Talking roster and practice squad guys. There's some guys that's still there.
Because like the NBA, you said a CBA, then they put them out of business, so they create their own G League. Mm-hmm. They actually are investing in the G League, like investing in your league, so that we can bring that. We have to mine this talent, and then we bring it forward. But you can't sit it down there like it's going to never get an opportunity. This is some sideshow, right? And that's they're not treating it like that, are they?
No, they're not treating it like that. Guys believe this is a real opportunity.
Okay.
I wholeheartedly believe the USFL is the best option to get me back to where I'm trying to get to.
Okay.
So, like I said, guys, it's worked.
Okay.
Guys have seen proof that you ball. They're watching. They'll come find you. Turpin is the best example, obviously, you know, going from playing in Europe, then playing in the FCF, the Fan Control Football League, then coming to the USFL, and not only going to the Cowboys, getting a guaranteed contract, but then becoming a Pro Bowler, All-Pro kick returner. You can't write a better story than that.
Do you find more scouts coming down to the USFL now to be at your games, looking around, you know, because you got to mine talent where it is, right?
But you know, scouts, they like undercover agents. They be up in the booth. They be in regular clothes. They be in all
that. Is funny.
You never know when a scout. You might be a scout talking to me, right? You never know when
the team knows that they come to get the passes.
Yeah, I mean, when they're at practice and things like that, you see them on the games at sidelines. But most of the times, the scouts are in the booth. They don't interact with you. They come and see either, like you say, either you got it or you don't.
I just want to know that you're there.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're watching. They're watching for sure.
Let's get to this next group of individuals.
We got 4 more slides to get to. They don't all have 5, but let's go to the offensive line here. A couple more numbers than can be held. Let's start with Drew Forbes, a guy who has a little versatility, interior offensive line. Is he on the 53-man roster?
No. Bro.
No, I don't think so.
No, bro.
I think he's a cut.
G? Everyone says no. Okay, we'll move on. Nick Harris, a guy they drafted, they liked, was injured last year.
This is tough. I told Whippler. I told him about Whippler. I like Nick Harris. He was going to be the starting center. He got a knee injury. He could play a little bit of guard. They brought Wes Martin in here because he had a relationship with Callahan. They even gave him a little bit of money. But I'm going to say Nick Harris, because he can play center, because he can play guard, I'm going to say he makes this roster.
Jason, you say yes?
I think it's either Forbes or Harris, frankly. I think one of them makes it. I'm not sure. I'm going to guess right now it's Harris and not Forbes. But that could change.
Brad, you say no.
That's not no. That's yes.
Oh, that's your happy face. My bad. You got for people who can't see my view of this, I'm looking at Brad and Boogie through a box. I'm looking directly at Jason, and so sometimes I got Boogie's face. I gotta turn over. I got you guys.
Okay.
All right.
There
Wes
we go.
Martin, you just alluded to him, Jason. They signed him because of his relationship with Bill Callahan. He has the interior offensive line versatility. I see a no from Jason. I see a no from G. I see a yes from Boogie. Boogie, why the yes?
Honestly, because sometimes in this business,
About
as
who
Jay
you know.
probably know, relationships
Who
save
you know.
jobs all the time.
They do.
Who you
You're
know?
right.
They
All
do.
the time, and that's in the work field, football, anywhere.
everywhere.
That's everywhere. You know,
That's everywhere.
sometimes people find themselves complaining, oh, I'm more qualified. Why did he get the job over me? But he knew somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you know, it's who you know, and that keeps you in rooms and that keeps you indoors. And his relationship, I feel like, is going to be the reason why he makes this roster.
If it's close and Callahan pounds the table, he'll get the guy he wants.
Oh, listen, Callahan don't even got to pound the table. All he got to do is touch the table.
Yeah, so that's why I'm banking on when this.
It's my man's. It's like, you know what it be. Like, we all have friends, right?
Yeah.
We be like, man, my friend is a hothead. He talked too much. He probably did say that inflammatory comment, but you done been in bar fights with him. Like, dang, man, you always swinging on somebody. But you ain't going to let him get beat up.
Yeah, so.
All right, we're going to the quarterback room. They just drafted Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR. They have 4 on the roster now. Does that spell the end for Kellen Mond?
Oh yeah,
come
he
on, man,
gone.
stop. Come
He
on.
gone.
Hey, that might have been the fastest turnaround out.
He
Like,
gone.
come
Wait,
on, man.
Jason
Whoa.
says they're going to keep Kellen?
Oh, wait. No.
Yeah, you tripping?
Hey, he up out of here.
I'm confusing myself
He's
now. No, he's out.
This is easy
Hey,
money.
when they,
Beat it, buddy.
When they went to UCLA
G, you got the
and,
happy
and
face.
grabbed my
You beat
man,
this.
he did like this.
Huh?
You think he's staking around, G?
No.
You're as confused as I am.
Yeah, I'm happy that he's up out of here.
No, but that's not the second. You got the happy
let me
face.
let me just
He's
put it
confused.
clearly. Let me put my 2 heads together. Nah, fam, you out of here. You're done. Dunsky, Raminomoski, get up out of here.
And then I didn't have Josh Dobbs on my initial list, but then Bull made a good point that if DTR beats out Dobbs for the number 2 spot, would you keep a guy you're paying $2.5 million for as your QB3?
Listen,
so
Dobbs
do you
is
think
gonna be
DTR can
around
beat out
here.
Dobbs for QB2?
Dobbs will be here.
Dobbs is when they
He here.
change this rule.
He here.
Now,
They're about to change this rule, and Dobbs is in the building. That's the only reason they did it.
the parameters you said was week 1, so I think Dobbs will be here week 1.
The only caveat to that I will say is you claim that there's a lot of roster battles at other positions. They're going to have to decide, are they going to carry 3 or 2? And I feel like based on the other position battles, we'll determine if Josh Dobbs is on the 53-man roster week 1 or not. That's what I think.
That's probably fair.
I believe that Barry, Stefanski, everybody involved understand quite clearly that they about to change this rule to 3 because they would have never drafted him and then went back and got Dobbs, right? And so now they got all these smart dudes in the room. They all kind of mutes a little bit too. They don't even really be talking. They be having like captions underneath their bodies. So yeah, they're gonna be ready to go. Everybody good.
All right, we're moving on to maybe the most crowded of all the rooms, the defensive tackle room, the one Boogie knows best inside and out as a defensive tackle himself. They have a lot of guys, and there are some on this list who certainly will not be here come week 1.
You
So
see
we'll
how
start.
he did that, Boogie? You see he done nullified all my little medals.
Yeah.
He just swiped me down. He said Boogie is the greatest of all time. He's never going to.
You see, they're going to have a billboard to see if we keeping you or not. They trying to replace. They bring me
They
on.
get me up out of here.
Nah, not you. We're going to hold it down.
So let's start with Tristan Hill, a guy they signed this offseason, a former second-round pick of the Cowboys, has been injured but talented. Will Tristan Hill be on the week 1 roster, or is he just a camp body?
These is. Hold on, let me turn these over right.
I think he gonna be here.
G says he's there.
I say here.
Everyone else says he's.
No, I say. Whoops, wrong one. I
So
say
2
here.
yeses, 2
I say he
no's.
here.
Brad, why is he here week 1?
Well, I think they take credence to the high draft choice, right? They see a chance to rehabilitate somebody and have a chance, right? That always happens in all sports. They always think they can salvage something, right? So they're gonna give him a run at it, right? He's gonna get a run at it. I look at your list. Togiai gone. He a Buckeye, but he gone.
Hey, listen, that's the first time. That's the first Buckeye I heard. I had to turn around, look at Jakes. What the hell is going on here?
He just shot a Buckeye first time.
Got him right on the practice field.
Yeah, he'd be on the way back to 71, back down to Columbus to help Ryan Day out on the staff.
He'll be on the afternoon drive show in Columbus.
I'm torn now. I think this pick is going to come down between Hill and Hurst. That's my pick for this one. Because same kind of body stature, penetrating D tackles, technically quote-unquote undersized, but Hill tested. I feel like he got drafted that high. He tested. The numbers were stuff you've never seen from a D tackle. So it's going to be between him and Hurst. I put up no first, so I'll just stick with my first mind.
So what do you value?
I hate cutting my big guys, man. Why you asking me
What
this?
do you value more as a D lineman? I be flipping sometimes. Do you value the pass rush ability, or do you value stopping the run? Like, if all things equal, they average, but one person has a little more pass rush ability, or the other guy has a little more ability to stop the run, which one you gonna lean towards?
Pass rush, because you can affect the game more as a pass rusher. More opportunities to get the ball back for your offense, strip sack fumbles, changing, flipping field position, and things like that. It's easier to scheme up a guy on a run because you can just double team him. He might be the best run stopper, but you can take two. As opposed to, especially on this roster, a pass rushing guy, you can't double team the dude on the inside because you got Myles Garrett on the outside. Right. So I'm going to take the pass rushing ability just in today's game. As much as they throw the ball, more opportunities to affect the game and help my team win.
I'm still in that, too. I'm still in that.
What you still in?
I'm still whole answer.
That's what he do. Oh, you
like
that?
that.
That's what he do.
He still answers?
That's what he does.
That's plagiarism.
Him.
And if I say it enough time, it just becomes my answer.
It's AI now. AI intelligence today.
Right. Look, they even make it where I could say something and then put Brad's voice on it.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, dang, Brad said that? The mayor said that? Yeah, AI out here crazy.
The internet is
crazy.
real.
Undefeated.
Right, we got a couple more of the defensive tackles. Let's go with Jordan Elliott, a guy who is part of the 2020 draft class.
He loves Jordan Elliott.
Jason
Come on, Jason.
yes.
Come on, Jason. Come on over here.
I don't love Jordan Elliott.
That's your man's.
He ain't going nowhere.
I don't love him.
He ain't
You
going
got
nowhere.
your answer, Brad G.
He ain't going nowhere.
G says he gone, and Boogie is back. G, you're the only one that says he's gone.
No, hold on. Now, let me. One of the reasons I'm putting this
Here
up
we go.
is because I feel like sometimes when you do get another coach, right, he may get something up out of you. I want to give Jordan Elliott a little bit of a get out of jail free card, because last year they were so trash defensively. They had a defensive lineman straight up tell him, I'm not playing on the first 2 downs, and that rolled.
But you put up the he's leaving.
Hey, but here's the thing. I don't like the fact that he gonna be here. He will be here. I don't like it in my heart of hearts. So I got to do this. He'll be here. Because he started last year. I think he could play 3
Following
techniques.
your logic is like riding the car with me, man. You are all over the road.
Hey, I gotta keep you on your toes. He can play 3, he can play 1 technique. He's big. I think he has some of the most athletic ability of anybody up front. And I think I think Schwartz will try to get some, but in my heart I want to do this.
All right, couple more. Tommy Togiai. Brad already said he's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone think he's back?
No. Yeah, he's going to open a Blimpie sub in 614.
Or Donato's Pizza.
Donato's Nothing But Cakes.
What did he do to make you that mad?
Oh, we ain't
Nothing.
Mad. We ain't mad.
That's the problem. He did nothing.
He was up there getting locked up. They didn't even give him no gloves last year.
The problem was we was advocating for this last year, and then we like didn't get any performance.
Hey, listen. You know how you know whether you good or not if you go to college and you get a single digit and some gloves and some spat. They didn't even tape his ankles. He was taping his own ankles at the house. Didn't go into practice.
So he's
no
stealing
gloves.
money. How are you on the roster? He's stealing money.
Hey, look, that's how dry we was. That's how terrible we was. He was just up there.
Come on.
Look.
You gave that man a Blimpies. You won't even give me the Jimmy John's.
No Blimpies.
You got to go to Blimpies?
No Subway, no Blimpies.
We got 2 more defensive tackles. Boogie mentioned him earlier. Mo Hurst. Yes or no?
Yes.
Jason says yes.
He has a cool name. I'm gonna go with you.
Says yes. Brad, yes.
I'm
Mo
gonna go with it.
Hurst.
I'm gonna go with it.
Mo.
Everyone says yes on Mo Hurst. And what about Perrion Winfrey?
That's all right.
Jason, a quick
I don't
no
hold
for
them grudges
Perrion.
after I leave. It's
I
only that
think-
Jason,
time.
no.
It's only that time.
G, no.
I think.
Oh, he out of here.
I think. Listen. I think.
The shenanigans.
I think Stefanski. I think they issued a statement.
Gee, what about the shenanigans?
I think they issued a statement, and they said we got one dude that got you know who that person is, and some things happen, but the rest of y'all get caught, y'all dead out here, bro. Anybody else, like, nah, bro. This is after Deshaun Watson, right? You knew what it was after Deshaun Watson. I tell people I couldn't even look. I won't even argue with my mom, the clerk, nobody. I'm not arguing. I don't even listen. I got scared after Deshaun Watson. I just said I look at the floor. I talk to only males. I just said I'm talking to Brad. I ain't doing none of that. No, I don't raise my voice. And you ain't getting me. No, period.
Boogie, you look torn here.
Oh, no, I already put mine up. We on to the next.
Oh, yeah, that's what I like.
And then
Let's
we got
stop
a
the
mix of
nonsense. Let's keep
positions. We
moving.
have one slide left, 5 to get to. Then we'll transition to some Cavs. These are not in order. These are just a mix collection. Let's start with Tony Fields, the linebacker. Is he on the
What?
roster?
What?
These are the bull submissions. These are the late bull
What?
submissions.
Who submissions?
Bull.
Oh, he gone.
Tony Fields, man.
Out of here.
I think he makes it for special teams.
Oh,
I was going to say, how much do you value special teams?
He sounds like Steve Harvey's barber.
Yeah.
I don't know Tony Fields.
Somebody got to play special teams.
Stupid.
Nah, I'm gonna put one of the
They
receivers
did
up there.
sign Jordan Kanasic,
Yep.
Jason, the linebacker, to
Yep.
play special teams.
No,
Just
Tony.
throwing it out there.
I mean, Fields ran into the punter on special teams. I
Oh
have
my
that.
gosh, we forgot about this dude.
That was him. Yeah, if anyone needs a reminder who Tony Fields is, he was the guy that
Ran
roughed
into the punter.
Yes.
But he still did make some good plays on special teams. I think he's here for special teams.
You can never have enough special teams guys. I'm giving them a spot.
All right.
Go
I
get
didn't
your
wanna-
money,
I didn't
Fields.
want to put him on here. Bull suggested adding him. Alex Wright,
he's
second-year
on.
defensive end.
He's
Oh
on.
yeah,
He got
in the-
starting minutes last
He's
year.
in the game.
He gonna play. I mean, yeah, him and McGuire are gonna be fighting for that second position though. They about the same person.
Okay, keep
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
Who's
The
next?
Browns signed a punter yesterday. Does he end up beating out? And I forget who it was. I'll be honest. Does he end up beating out Corey Bjorquez?
Nah.
The Browns punter was good last year.
Nah.
I thought he had some nice punts.
Well, what they bringing him in for then?
He here.
The new
I
guy
hate when teams they
draft another.
make controversy for no reason.
He's
Would you even?
a camp
Little
leg.
competition.
He's a
Nothing
camp.
wrong with
Come
that.
on, he's a camp leg. Come on now, he's a camp leg.
Yeah, I think Bjorquez makes it. He had a pretty good year.
They did.
His name's Joseph Carlton. Is the punter they signed yesterday, by the way. Just throwing it out there. Okay, 2 more. Isaiah Thomas. This is a
one's
tough
hard.
one.
This
I
one's
like-
This is a
hard.
tough one.
These last two are both hard.
Isaiah Thomas. They just got McGuire. They got Alex Wright. You think you're gonna keep young OG is out there on the other end. Man,
He's a
It
VOC.
just depends how good that 4th round draft pick is.
He's a
If,
VOC. Know what that is?
what's that?
Victim of circumstance.
I'm still in that. I got me one. I'm still in it. Yep.
I'm gonna say yes. I say they keep him. I say I don't know who. I don't know where that comes. Somebody else got to get up out of here though. But I'm gonna keep him.
And Jason says no.
That's really close.
It's close as hell.
If there's any sort of injury or something, this could easily change. But as of now, I say no.
And he has a recognizable name, so you know it'd be subliminal a little bit. They'd be like, "Who do you want?" Yeah, I like Isaiah Thomas. Okay.
And last but not least, Harrison Bryant.
Oh, he's staying. He's staying.
This is a tough one.
He's staying here.
They just brought that. They got that other free
Jordan
agent tight
Atkins.
end.
Yeah. You know,
But somehow
Stefanski
Stefanski,
love them tight ends.
he loves
He
them.
love them.
So until he's done,
He love them.
he loves them too much.
Love 'em.
He wants to rub their shoulders.
What do you want to do?
Rub his shoulders. It's okay, Harrison.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
So how many are gonna keep? 3?
2. They're not going to go to three tight end sets anymore. I think he's gone.
They're not.
Hey,
If you're keeping 7 receivers, you can't keep 3 tight ends.
No,
So just keep that in mind
I
as you guys do your numbers here.
I feel like we do 8. So here's how I think.
8 receivers?
Yeah, 8 receivers. So if
Well,
I'm
you're
gonna
definitely not keeping 3
53
quarterbacks.
because
You got guys playing both ways?
But because I'm getting rid of one tight end because I thought we was gonna keep 3, so I'm getting rid of him. And if we keep 2 tight ends, I could always bring in either not Hubbard, but what's his name?
8?
From Cincinnati. The tackle that we, you know who I'm talking about, and DeJuan Jones on the goal line as double tight ends and tackles. So I'm bringing in linemen on the goal line, and I'm only gonna keep 2 tight ends. So now I want to go back and reprieve what I said about receivers. I got 8 receivers making the roster.
8 is
insane.
crazy.
They're not
Has
keeping
anybody 8?
They're not keeping 8.
Somebody
I don't
gonna
know if
play-
that's ever happened.
Somebody gonna
in
play-
the history
Can you
of
clip
the
this?
man roster.
Somebody got to
Yeah,
play
you want
Gunner.
that, Boogie?
Yeah, clip
You
this.
want that?
Clip it.
Boogie's calling his shots.
Clip-
I love it.
clip it.
I changed my mind. You're insane. I'm going back to yes. I'm saying 6 receivers and 3 tight
He
ends.
gonna wipe me
I don't
down.
know where you coming with
look,
this 8.
Hey, he gonna wipe me down just to go back on his team. Nah, I changed my mind on this one. I'm
You
done.
want 8 receivers, 3 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks.
Two.
Jesus.
I want 2 and 3 quarterbacks.
And you want the defense better.
So here's the thing. I haven't decided. I might be kind of light on linebackers if we only playing 2 backers. You ain't even heard me talk about the offensive line yet. There's a couple of offensive linemen he ain't even put up there that should have been up to that cut list, man.
All right. Boogie, I will save that clip for you. We will go back to it. Just want to let you know something about G. Bush. Before the season last year, G. Bush predicted essentially the Browns to score 98 touchdowns. He was like, Nick Chubb's going to have 17. Kareem Hunt's going to have 10. Cooper's going to have 12. DPJ's getting 8. And Njoku 12.
I was close on that Nick Chubb. I was dead on the total for the Guardians. And on top of that, I was kind of close to Amari Cooper while y'all playing. See, the Duke of knee jerk. And I told y'all, I also told you that one Odell Beckham Jr. would get another deal, and he got $15 million guaranteed. See, I'm telling you, I told you 6 games. Listen, your boy.
It is officially 12 o'clock, which means it is time for the lunch hour of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. And as always, the lunch hour of UCSS is brought to us by Colleague Racing, the official NASCAR team of Northeast Ohio. We spent the first hour talking Browns. We're going to pivot here and talk a little Cavs. We are now 5 days out from the end of the season, and I'm curious, guys, what you think on this. When we look back at the 2022-2023 season in totality, maybe 2 years down the road, 3 years, 4 years, are we going to look at this season as it was a fun young group that went through some growing pains, or are we going to look at it and say, my goodness, that was a disappointment?
Man, this is easy. If you just take the temperature of the people outside, they'll tell you exactly what was going on with that. Like, nobody's excited. This is one of the more. This is going to be one of the more unmemorable years out. Like, I can look at and just going back to it. I remember the seasons where I remember 2018 more than I remember this year, right? I remember how LeBron, that to me was his best playoff performance in 2018, carrying the team. When you play the Raptors, you have a game-winning jumpers. Just the way he carried them. Boston Game 7, 2018, the 51-point game 1 against the Warriors with KD. Come on, man. I remember all of that. I remember the 266 wins more affectionately. I remember the Cavs was the first team that was really starting the bench celebrations and everybody hated them. I just remember that they was just winning. It didn't matter. They was winning every single night. They had a highlight, and they had synchronized bench movements, right? I remember both of those seasons. This season, if you go walk down the street, people don't even like the Cavs right now. We got to let this blow by. This is like a bad relationship at this point. We got to let it get to the next season so we can be like, okay, I'm cool talking Cavs again. But people's hot about the way the season ended. This is not memorable at all.
Time heals a lot of wounds, but not all the wounds. And I tend to agree with Garrett. I don't think this will be remembered fondly. I'm going to go with an angry face. Had they even gotten it to 7 games against the Knicks, had they competed a little bit more, it's the way that it ended. It's the way that it was 5 games. It's the way that they got pushed around inside. It was the way that Donovan really sort of vanished in the series. And really we have to let this play out and see what the next 2 to 3 years look like. If he does stay, I know we've spent a lot of time the last couple of days saying I think he's here one more year and they're going to have to trade him. Like, that's just what I think the reality is. But if for some reason he does stay, we may look back on this a little bit differently. But, you know, I don't think anyone looks back on 2018 with any sort of fondness, and that team went to the finals.
Right.
And so I certainly don't think a first-round exit in 5 games where they were embarrassed most of those nights, I don't think that's going to be looked at. No one cares about 51 wins. Like, nobody cares about it. They can trot it out there all they want, but it's not resonating with anybody. You won 44 last year. Last year really is, I think, the one where in a few years you may have some sort of fondness toward it because that was the first sign of emerging of they're back and they're ready to play. And no, they didn't make the playoffs. They had a ton of injuries down the stretch. They lost the 2 play-in games. But that was the first feel-good moment of emerging from the darkness. So if anything, that last year will be the year that I think is looked on fondly a few years from now, but I don't think it'll be this year.
If they can take the mentality of every loss is a lesson and not a loss, and they come back next year and get better, and who's to say they can't and get some more shooting this offseason and fix the bench. I know I'm going on and saying if they can do all these things. If they can do all these things and progress next year and Donovan Mitchell shows up in the playoffs and things like that, I feel like this could be the season they look back as growing pains. Finally getting all the guys together, building that camaraderie, and moving forward in the playoffs. They'll look back at this year in a positive light. So I don't know. I'm just being hopeful, and I really believe in Donovan Spider Mitchell, so I believe next year will be better. So that's my take on it.
Okay.
That's a lot of ifs.
Saved you for last, Brad.
Okay. Well,
Show the happy face. Show the happy face.
this is my happy face. There it is. There we go. There it is right there.
That's creepy.
Is that creepy?
Like yes.
Hell no, we won't go.
Because it's like real unrealistic.
So here, let's not undermine. I'm not saying this because I do radio for them, right? The 51 wins is not to be sneezed at. That is a marking point in this league, always has been, right? So that's not to be undermined. Regular season went well. We won't sit here today and tell you the postseason went well. It did not go well, right? And it far underachieved what I think everybody was trying to get their head around. They thought we had a chance, only to find out we didn't really have a chance. What it should do in the process and pecking order of where the Cavaliers are is this is a part of the piece of trying to get better. The only problem was that it was on Front Street and everybody saw it. So we're missing some pieces here, and there's no longer a way that you cannot address this. It has to be addressed. And then I was telling somebody in the gym last night, G, and you know, I heard you on the radio on Saturday, right?
He comes in and says, you gave him the business.
Right.
Gave him the work.
I said, so here's the story, right? I don't know one general manager who has sat out here and said when they're going to make some changes to come out and tell you they're going to make changes, right? They're all going to tell you the same thing. Everything went well. Here's the deal. Because they saw the same things you saw. Believe that, right? Don't think they're not underselling it. But they're not going to address it right here in front of everyone right now. We'll let everybody get out of here and figure out because we have to get better. Did the Cavaliers improve from the year before? They definitely did, right? But they wasn't ready for prime time with the others, right? Because there were some things missing, and everybody saw it, right? And I think the young players, and I won't just scoot it off on young players, there's a difference between regular season and the playoffs. There's a major difference. It's between night and day, right? And if you've been in that league, you will know it. You will learn it. And it's the only way you can get it in your head is you have to learn it. It's a lesson taught. Because everybody that walked out of that gym on that last day, they should be in a gym within another week.
You're in Cancun.
Trying to put themselves at. That's what you're going to find out, Bull. If they in Aruba,
Yeah.
Bahamas, San Tropez, right? There's a number of places we can go.
Let me start. It was a long season. They do deserve
You got
they deserve some time.
but there's some self-reflection here.
Absolutely.
Because what they did not see is this is what you did not see. And Jay, you tell me if I'm mistaken here. That last day, everybody was waiting for somebody to say, "Get ye behind me." And nobody did that. But if you turned on Philly, Harden did it last night. You turned on Miami, Jimmy Butler was there like, "You get ye behind me." You get to Golden State. Steph Curry was like, what? Get ye behind me.
Well, that's what Donovan was here for.
Right. I said, so there is that learning curve that has to occur. So Donovan Mitchell, we ain't moving on from that. But what we have to do, if you do not have, that's the thing we have to check for. Is that embedded in this team? And if it's not, you have to go out and get a couple people that understand what that means.
See, I like being clear about the vision and making it clear about what it is. Even the Bible talks about making the vision clear. You got to write it down so people understand it, so you can self-manifest that into the physical.
See how you go.
When you say, "Hey, get behind me," right? You know that. JB's supposed to know that, right? Why don't he say, "Listen, get you a tape and put all these teams." He said, "Guys, these are teams we playing with.
Yeah.
These are teams that's in the playoffs. These are teams that we are part of, right? Because we put ourselves in position to do that in the regular season."
Right.
Now let me show you this. See, this is Steph Curry. Which one of y'all is going to do what Steph did? You see, that's a 51. This is a possession where he wasn't going to let him not score. There you go. James Harden. You see how he pulling up like that? James Harden, he said he wasn't going to let it go down like that. You see what LeBron did, the 20 and 20. Sometimes you ain't got to give me 40. But you see the assertiveness. Do you see? These are the pillars of our NBA. And if we want to go where they've been, because they got the jewelry, sometimes you're going to have to learn from looking at somebody instead of taking that L yourself. Like, if I could watch somebody else that came before me and be like, man, this dude took that L because he wasn't moldable, he wasn't adaptable, he didn't work well with his people, he was contentious. And then I get here and then I'm do the same thing as him, and then I'm like, well, I'm just young, I gotta learn. No, sometimes you can learn without taking that L. And I think in the playoffs, JB and the coaching staff and the players could have said, even Donovan Mitchell, Donovan, you should have been telling these guys, hey, look, that Jalen Brunson dude, he gave me that work last year. Let me cut this up for you, Darius. This is how I got touched up last year. I refuse to let it happen this year, and I ain't going to let him do that to you, so I'm going to prepare you. We're going to get it together so we know what we got to do. But guess what? They walked into it, and they almost expected it. Because if you say, you manifest, right, what you say in this world. So if you manifest and you say all the time, I'm young, it's okay. I'm young, it's okay. We gonna lose, I gotta learn. What you think is gonna happen? You think you're gonna come out there and play and do something different than what you've been manifesting? No, you're gonna play young, you're gonna have young turnovers, and you have a mentality that that's okay. And I'm not saying that it's the end of the world, but what I am saying is sometimes in your life, you can have an opportunity right in front of you. And the good teams and the smart people going to take advantage of it. The other one's going to squander it away. And if you look at it, the Cavs, in my opinion, have a better roster, more talent than the Heat, more talent than the Knicks. And they could have had an opportunity to be in the Eastern Conference Final and then take that magnitude and really multiply that.
I'm not sure they had a chance to get to the Eastern Conference Final, right? The goal was to try to get to the second round, right? Because all those people that we just named, there were some lessons learned. James Harden has learned some lessons along the way.
He took a lot of those.
Steph Curry learned some lessons along the way, right? Everybody in here had Jimmy Butler was kicked around a number of times before he ended up in Miami, correct? Right. So the Miami Jimmy Butler is different than the Philly Jimmy Butler.
Or the Minnesota
right?
one.
Right. Or
They
the
were all
Minnesota.
pretty good versions.
Right. But here, there's lessons learned, and guess what? Those that learned the lessons, they improve. Magic Johnson, you remember when they was getting ready to run Magic Johnson out of L.A.? He had to learn the lesson, right?
Only thing I'll say to counter that is Donovan Mitchell should have learned some lessons in Utah.
Well, we don't know. Yeah,
You get what I'm
what you're saying.
This wasn't his first appearance, and the reason why our expectations are so high is because we've seen him be great in the playoffs and have great performances before.
And
that's why we thought with him coming to a team with another great player in the backcourt with him,
right,
a great front court, we thought he would be better. And it didn't happen. So something is missing, but we were looking for that peak Spider performance, and we didn't get it. And that's why we're scrambling right now.
The one thing I'll tell you is this, that Utah is a funny place, right?
Okay.
You don't know what lessons are learned in Utah, right? I'm not hating on Utah.
Shout out to Mitt Romney.
You don't know what lessons I learned out here, right? Because here, I'm not sure that people in Utah have ever held anybody accountable for anything that went sour out there. Even Malone and Stockton when they didn't deliver, right? This is here. Donovan Mitchell, you got to go back. There's some self-reflection here because the stage was set for Donovan. I'm in New York. I'm going home. It's about to be showtime up in here. And from all appearances, that did not occur. So now in the ethos out here, people are thinking that you recoiled from the event. You recoiled from the atmosphere. You didn't deliver. You didn't show up. So now you got to battle back against that now, because people now, when you look at them, G, what kind of look they give you on the street?
Yeah, I'm cool on the cat. Listen, this is a bad taste in their mouth a little bit. Like, I don't know about these Cavs. I will say this though. I'm gonna say this. There was one person we have not talked about, and that's one Evan Mobley, Jason. I'm gonna tell you what. For me, as I simulate this whole little simulation for 3 years or 2 years left or whatever we got, the one thing that I liked about what you said and what you printed out there was, you know, when you have time and when you talk about the value of time, time's not guaranteed to anybody, right? And when you start talking about that timetable and that shrinking and from a 2 to a 1 to you got decisions to make, all of a sudden it puts a little urgency on people. And for me, when I look at a guy like Evan Mobley, like, we sit here and talk doom and gloom, right? But if Evan Mobley come back and he can shoot 32, 33% from the three-point line, he now has a 15 to 17 consistent foot jumper where he's shooting that at about maybe 60%, 55%. He's raising his free throw average up to maybe somewhere around 78, 70, almost 80%. And plus he now can put the ball on the ground 3 dribbles. All of a sudden, you see his totals go up to 20, 21 a game, 12 boards, 13 rebounds. If they get there, they right back in contention. They can hang with anybody in the league.
Yeah, I mean, Evan regressed as a three-point shooter this year, and that's really concerning. He was down to 21% this year, so even to get to the 32 you're talking about would be
crazy,
a massive leap in one offseason. I think eventually he can get there. I don't know if you can get there in 1 year, and you certainly can't count on that. You can't go into next year saying, okay, well, he's going to shoot 32%. Well, we have no evidence of that whatsoever. I don't care how many shots he takes in the summertime. You hope, but I don't know. But if he eventually gets to that, it unlocks a lot of things that they can do. When your center can stretch the floor, we've seen it. We go watch Denver with Jokic and all the different things Jokic can do. If you can get those minutes with Evan at center when Jarrett's not on the floor, put 4 shooters around him, you can be lethal offensively. But this team, as presently constructed, is a long way from that.
Here, let me. I've been saying this to you guys earlier this year. It's driving me nuts, right? He's not that. And it's okay, right?
So you're not that guy, Pat.
No, he's not that. Here,
You're not that guy.
he's a guy that's 15 in. That's a guy. That's who he is, right? Jason, he can't do what I did. He can't bring it on the bounce. He can't pull up from deep. That's not.
Have we seen people?
That's not it.
Have we seen? But haven't we seen people get that? Lauri Markkanen got that.
No. You look at it, Lauri Markkanen's game. His game can tell you that the way he plays, he could do that.
You say
it's not in that.
He had his bag of tricks was a little bit different.
And you have to be a student of this game. You can see it. Here, can people get better? Yes, but there's certain inherent traits that you need to be able to do certain things, right? I ain't going down there and fooling around with Shaq and them. I ain't gonna be able to do that, right? But Shaq ain't gonna step out here. I can cross you up on his bounce, right? He's not built like that. When you look at the way he plays, it's straight up and down.
Yeah, he's a linear player.
But no, I ain't just saying linear. That's how he got rooted up under that goal, because he couldn't get down. You have to be low man wins here.
I think he can gain 20 pounds.
20 pounds is one thing. It's not just the weight. It's leverage here. It's how you attack. Charles Oakley couldn't jump 2 foot off the ground. Mm-hmm. But he'd get you up under that goal and get you out the way. Mm-hmm. And you wasn't going to get the ball from him, right? So it ain't about your athletic ability all the time. It's how you play.
If Evan doesn't develop more range, they're going to have to make a decision between Jarrett and Evan, because it's untenable.
I think
it's untenable.
Jason, you were on the spot on. I said that yesterday in the gym. This is what we're talking about now, because you thought I had something different. When I saw that playoff, I'm like, maybe I don't have what I thought I have here.
Well, let me give you this. Well, here's the thing. Well, I've already, in my heart of hearts, I done already made the decision. I I know for a fact that who's your best trade asset?
It's Mobley.
Mobley.
Yeah,
But he's not. Yes,
But they not
he's
moving.
not going there.
They're not moving him.
So you can't move Mitchell because you be admitted you made a mistake.
Right.
And you can't trade Darius Garland.
No.
So your best trade asset is Jared Allen. Now, if I'm looking at it from a standpoint, I can make Evan Mobley's game more tenable if Jared Allen wasn't there because now he has more room to roam. Because now, instead of that 15-footer, if he's not going to take him to the basket, ain't nobody else under there.
I'm gonna take you further. What if I position Evan Mobley with a power dude inside, right, to clean up the mess? That gives Evan a chance to come in and do his thing, right?
The spacing still will be bad though.
No, but you gotta have somebody housing that thing down low. You have to somebody can clear it out. So I'm not sure that you'll be able to do that with those two, right? So now you're looking at scrap heap people, Boogie Cousins, my man in Chicago that was here once before. This is the kind of people you're looking at now, right? You're gonna need a big a guy that can root it out inside to give Evan Mobley the room to operate.
But
Who's the center in New York?
Robinson.
So you saying somebody like that?
So
like,
Robinson, you see Robinson, his whole thing was what?
Yeah.
He cleaned out the house underneath, right? It wasn't like he was killing you.
No,
But he negated all their assets, right? Because he was able to do what? Get you up out of there.
This is kind of strange. This hit me because here's what's gonna happen, and I'm just looking at the simulation because when you extrapolate this thing forward, some people have already said the pairing of Donovan Mitchell and the pairing of Darius Garland.
Yeah.
Now look, I said this was funny. Me and McNuggets was on the stream, and he said, "G. Bush, why you say that?"
What happened? What you
He
said?
said, "Why you say that?" I
What'd
said,
you say?
"Look, well, look, bro. I said at one point during the season, we looked at this and we poo-pooed this. We threw it away." I said, everyone asked, "Would you trade Darius Garland for Damian Lillard?" And everybody said no.
Y'all laughed me out the building when I
We
put it on the
we
show.
laughed him out of the building. I half-heartedly said, I guarantee that people would look at that trade a little more seriously.
I think people why? Because what does Damian Lillard have? No. What has Damian Lillard showed you that was missing in that series?
Hell no, I ain't going out like that.
Get ye behind me.
Yeah, he got that. Now, Jason, you the basketball dude. I think that I would seriously look at that move. Do you feel? And this is just hypothetical. We don't want to get you back into trouble because you done already messed the Donovan Mitchell thing up. You done messed it up. Now you about to go to the Darius. Darius Garland. Now listen.
What did you do?
I told the truth.
What'd you say?
I told the truth.
What'd you say?
They're gonna have to trade him after next year. He's got 2 years of control left.
He ain't
They're
like
gonna
that.
have to trade him after
Truth
next
hurts. He
year.
ain't
But
like
let
that.
me get back. I'm Damian Lillard for Darius Garland. I'd consider that heavily.
No,
I would consider it.
For a rental?
I would consider it.
you're shortening your
your
contention
window.
window.
The window is already short. You just
No,
told
it's
me.
not.
You told me
No,
it
it's
was
not.
short.
No,
If they got to get rid of Donovan Mitchell, it's already short.
But you still have Darius and Evan under control for a really long time.
Okay.
So if you're moving on from Darius, now you're really putting yourself in a must-win. Like you've taken what should be a 5, 6, 7 year window and you've condensed it to 1.
So throw the window out on a strictly basketball, player for player move. Is that team better?
For 1 year, yeah. For 1 year, yeah. It's
What's the
probably better.
ceiling?
I don't know because you're still playing 2 little guards, and he's played with a little guard in Portland and never went anywhere.
Yeah, he's still small.
So is it better? Yeah, I think it's better, but I don't think you're a championship contender.
I don't think I'm not moved by the fact that you say little guards, right? I mean, little guards were one in this league before. Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars, they wasn't big.
We were saying he didn't do good with CJ. They never reached.
No,
They got to a Western Conference Finals, but they never.
But Portland is not constructed like that. They're just not. They banked all behind Damian Lillard.
Yeah, but they had a good bid. There's some similarities.
Who
They
was
had
a good big?
What's his name?
Nurkic.
Nurkic.
Man, Nurkic, all right. I mean, he ain't no showstopper.
Nurkic isn't better than Mobley?
Nah, I take Evan Mobley over Nurkic. I would. Because
That's actually kind of close.
Yeah,
the long run.
It's actually kind of close.
I don't know.
Like, if I'm thinking about it.
Nurkic is who he is. Evan Mobley has some bandwidth here.
But you said
you
his
just said
bandwidth ain't going to go good.
No.
You
I
just
said
said you didn't like him.
You have to take him and pair him with somebody, right? The two pair down there, to me, I'm not sure that's going to help you going forward, because the things that are needed in the regular season are one thing. It worked well, right? Because every other day I'm going to Philly, I'm going to Atlanta. I don't have time to prepare for you.
I think
you had Thibodeau. Mm-hmm. He was prepared.
He was.
He was prepared.
I look at. My thing is this. I'm analyzing and I'm looking at Darius Garland. I need to figure out, and I think the Cavs need to figure out, is Darius Garland, if they want to say this is a window, is Darius Garland the best person on the championship team?
That's a legitimate question.
You know the answer to that, didn't you?
No, here,
no.
because where we are now is I think that everything is on the table. You have to assess. There's some reality in this business. You have to assess where you are. You can't drink your own Kool-Aid here.
And
do I have it or do I don't? And if I don't have it, can I get it?
Because there's a lot of teams, and this is the, you know this, the way you think about a basketball roster and a football roster is two totally different.
Two different rosters.
Because when you talk about basketball, you can have a really good team. You can have nice pieces. You can have people that bought in, that play the way you want to play, and you just sit there one day in the off season, and then you get to be the Dallas Mavericks and say, I don't know what we was just in the Western Conference Finals. We lost Brunson, bring Kyrie in, now we're screwed. Now they got to almost rebuild it again. You see what I'm saying with Luka?
It's like Minnesota.
It's so fragile. Every GM will tell you, roster construction is so fragile, and you think you've got it, and then the next year it's gone. It's so, it's not fantasy basketball where that guy can shoot, let's put him in, but then it disrupts the locker room. It's just, it's so much more complicated than just
like you said, the Minnesota with Jimmy Butler. When they did that, I'm thinking, oh, Minnesota's here. And no, they weren't. Minnesota, Jimmy Butler gets there, and him and Karl Anthony Towns in the infamous practice where it just was untenable. And then you put the fact that Tibbs was the coach of that team. And you say, well, how did that not work? And this is the thing that I look at in basketball, and I think the Cavs are there. Go back, look at the Hawks. The Hawks a couple years ago overachieved, went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They got there, they lost. Now next year, the expectations are huge, right? You expect Trae Young to be Steph Curry-esque. You expect those guys to go there. However, it didn't get there. Then you have this panic move. I wouldn't say panic move, but you go and say, okay, well, we need to go out here and get DeJounte Murray. Did that really necessarily work to the level they want? Probably not. But here's the thing. I think the Cavs, is it an extra over-the-top panic? No. But here's the thought process. You do have to look at the way the roster is constructed and say, is Darius Garland the guy if you don't have a Donovan Mitchell? And can Evan Mobley actually get to the lofty status that we thought he could get to? Because that definitely changes the way we think about the Cavs roster, does it not?
Yeah, I mean, Evan's going to get to where Evan's going to get. I still think he's number one on a championship team. It's hard for the point guard to be that guy. It's not impossible, but it's hard. Darius is just fine in the role that he's in. I would not touch either one of those two guys and just let this thing play out. Now, the Donovan thing, it is what it is. You know, I'm on record. I know what I think is going to happen, how that's going to go. But they'll still have other pieces to keep that window open.
I bet you created a firestorm, didn't you?
The internet was on fire.
Was it a firestorm?
But first of all,
Just told the truth.
Hey, Mikey McNuggets, man, what up? Hey, you gonna give us something?
Yeah, it's 12:28, which means it's officially the lunch hour of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. And as always, the lunch hour of UCSS is brought to us by Colleague Racing, the official NASCAR team of Northeast Ohio. While we get our next guest situated, I want to remind everybody about the membership tiers here of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. For $1.99 a month, you can be a starters tier member. That gets you loyalty badges, custom emojis, and members-only community posts. And then for the big ballers out there, for $4.99 a month, that gets you all those same starter tier perks, plus overtime videos, member shout-outs, discount codes for merch, and much, much, much more. Today's overtime content, some AI-generated NFL mascots. That's going to scare the crap out of you. We're going to laugh about that. And joining us now is Darius Victor from the New Jersey Generals of the USFL. The USFL is going on right now. Amazing spring league action.
Oh, I got a
cramp. Oh, I got a cramp. Family fun for $10. Check him out. I think Jason just pulled his ankle. Jason is now on set with 4 collegiate athletes.
Medic!
Are you okay, Jason?
He called it
Someone call 911.
You
Hey,
know,
there's 6 people on the show right now, and Jason's the only non-athlete. He just cramped up. That is a legit issue.
Salt and some potassium.
Seriously, Darius Victor, the 2020 USFL Offensive Player of the Year, joining us now. What's up, Darius?
what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on?
Y'all having me?
First and foremost, man, we got to get to it, man.
Go back to that clip.
First and foremost, can we show
Go back
my
to the
man
clip.
what?
No, come on with the clip.
Can we get my
Start with
man
the clip.
Y'all gonna get
Delete all that.
Start with the clip.
This cat gave him that business. Ooh.
Take it full. Darius, walk us through this play.
Hey man, y'all gonna get me in trouble, man. But got a little counter going on. Guard pulling wide. I see a hole. Someone's in the
He's
hole.
waiting for you in the hole.
My job is to win my one-on-one matchups, and I guess it's just football. Just
Did
a
you
regular
say anything
football
when you
play.
got up? Did you say anything?
No, I just laugh because I'm fat and I'm too tired to be talking trash. So I usually just you make a lot of noises. So, but no, I just.
Okay, we've seen it enough. Nuggets, cut it off. Big Nuggets, he don't talk for 2 minutes. The clip's still rolling. He ain't even on screen. Cut it off, Big Nuggets.
Sorry, man.
Jesus Christ.
So you said you weigh a lot, man. Listen, you got a low center of gravity. How much you officially weigh?
No, I weigh 230. I don't know. They got me on paper as 5'9", 209. I never been neither in my life, so I don't know where that came from. But I am
5'9", 209.
I'm
What are you
5'7",
real?
230. That's the real number. That's the real number.
Yeah, he got you.
That's crazy.
If y'all see, y'all can't know. And then, pause. I'm not gonna be talking about another man's thighs. Pause. But nah, it looked like he just do. He got. You know how you do leg day once every 2 weeks. He looked like he got 4 leg days. Like you got 4. You live like he maxes out calves. Like this dude is out here moving around. What would you say is your running style?
I think I'm pretty balanced. Most people wouldn't say that though, because they see I'm big and I think I just run through people. But I got pretty good vision, got hands out the backfield. I think I'm pretty complete. But if you let me tell it, I'm balanced, I'm well-rounded. But if you let everyone else tell it, I'm just a downhill, straight line runner. So.
And as you see Bookie's face,
It's a Heisman ceremony speech. Why every time he talks, a different highlight is up on the screen?
and you got
I
your
don't been here 2 shows, not this many highlights. Hold on, McNuggets. Let me find out you're a Generals fan.
Hey, man.
Look at him now. He got the whole screen. Look at this.
He wouldn't be wrong. To be
Let's
a
just sit
Generals
back and
fan.
watch it. Come on.
All right, there you go. See, there you go, Boog. There you go.
You don't worry.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey man, I'm glad to see. You got
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
I can tell you tired. That's the.
Hey, and actually, Darius, walk me through this play real quick. This is Boogie in practice.
Let me see that. Oh.
Is he catching punts?
So, that looks about right. The
Look at this.
big
Hold
guys.
on. Hold on. Look,
me
watch
see.
this. Watch this. Hold on.
Let me see. Oh, okay. Okay, I must say, the catch, poor execution.
It's hard to catch in the bubble. I don't want to.
I understand, but listen, I give you this though. That was a nice little cut. Looked like you knew what you was doing for.
Yeah, I
like
play Madden a little bit.
0.3 seconds. You looked like you knew what you was doing right there. Look right there. Boom. Okay. Yeah, I like that one.
So you guys are all playing. Are all the home games in Canton?
Yes, sir.
So do you guys? I think y'all got like a village or something. Like, do y'all meet up? Y'all hang out? Is there any like fraternizing amongst the squads? Y'all kick it, play video games? What y'all doing over there?
Not really, because we kind of practice on 2 different schedules, but we take pride in our hub. Like, we both went to Ford Field, Michigan this last, and we both won. So we won first, and as we were leaving the field, they were walking on the field. They like, oh, congratulations. We like, go get us one, put on for the hub. So until we playing each other,
for sure.
So
you know
y'all
what I'm saying? Yeah.
I was rooting for them like I played for them. So it's just that's that mutual respect thing. Just trying to put on for Canton. So shout out to Pittsburgh for getting that win, man. I was proud of you guys, man.
We finna keep it going.
That's what's up.
That's kind of fire, man. So when you look at that, so there's other hubs. There's other like blocks.
Yeah.
Like there's other cats. What other blocks do they got? Are they here or are they located different other places?
Other places, you got Michigan, Memphis, and then Birmingham.
Oh,
Yes,
wow. Okay. So they got y'all scheduled in different spots. So that's, man. I ain't trying to go to the Birmingham one. I'm cool. I'm straight on.
You ain't caught a game yet. When you coming down?
What time? When do y'all play on majority Sundays, right?
Yeah.
I think this will be our last, because the first 4 Sunday, then I think we go to Saturday. I'm not sure about that.
We play all on Sundays.
So I think you guys, I'm gonna get to a game. I'm gonna get to the game in the next couple of weeks. Usually I go to Canton because my mom makes me go. Like she has this thing where she be like, "Hey, you gonna show up?" Like she'll just make a cookout, and I have to show up if I ain't there in a timely fashion. So you know how moms do cookouts and joints ready to go. When you talk about the USFL, and then I asked Boogie this question, what made you choose the USFL over the XFL? Because those are two competing leagues, and you see those other guys on TV, and you see you guys on TV. What made you choose USFL over XFL?
Honestly, just that family. I already had teammates. I already been established. I feel like it's like running away from your family. Like I grew up with these guys. We had a whole complete season. Just the success and the great football that the USFL put out. I feel like I would be crazy to run away from that. And it's just a great setup, great opportunity, and that's why I chose USFL over XFL any day of the week.
That's awesome. When you look at you take a look at the USFL, and I asked Boogie this question, and it turned into a whole thing. I said, what do you do? What do you guys do in the off season? To maintain yourself, or do you have other work you do? And this dude was just like, yeah. I've been in a movie. I've been in films. I got 3 or 4 acting gigs. I got a joint with Rihanna. I'm looking at this dude like, this is crazy.
He's a man for sure. For sure.
What are some of the things that you do in the off season, and do you have any other interests outside of football? And when football's over, what are some things that you look to do?
I work for the Department of State. I'm a UPO, Uniform Police Officer with the Department of State, but I also love solving riddles, Candy Crush, watching movies, slow walks on the beach. I live in Miami, so all those things I enjoy doing so much.
Slow walks on the beach?
Listen, I love walking. I hate running. I play running back, so I hate running. Anything that I got to go fast and breathe
like
heavy, I hate
profile. Like slow walks on the beach. Like that's a dating
what, I'm an open book.
Look,
He got a couple swipes in him somewhere.
I'm an open book, man.
He's smooth with that. That was a cold intro. Slow walks on the beach. I live in Miami. I'm a running back, but I like walking. You feel me? He cold.
I'm just being honest with you, man.
that's crazy. So what did you get? So you was like the offensive player of the year, right?
Yes, sir.
What you get? You get a trophy or something for that? Or?
Nah, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't get a trophy. I got a lot of respect though. Guys like Big Boogie here, acknowledge me.
Did they give you some chips?
Nah, I didn't even get that.
Just look at the screen.
I got a few followers, so I appreciate that.
Hey, listen. We didn't have Moose Johnson on. Hey, Moose. Listen, come on, man. Step your game up, bro. Listen, you got these boys. You at least got to give them a trophy. Tyvis still is taking this trophy around. That is a big thing. We need to. That's a nice formation, by the way, too. I like that.
Old school.
Yeah,
I like that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's so. When you looked at the USFL, and right now, who's in first place?
I think in the North we are New Jersey Generals, and in the South, New Orleans is. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all putting up some points. That's 45 points. That's all right. I will say that the development. I think in the second year, there has been more development of the offense. I think the first year and I watched a bunch of the games the first year. It looked like the offense took a little bit of time to get going. Do you find it now that got you guys working with people the second year, working with the same individuals and maybe sometimes the same coaches? You think that's helped that product out a lot?
Oh, definitely. As an offense, having the same staff, same coach, playbook, just like picking up where you left off. It might be a little word here or there, a little ad, but majority, the whole offense was already in, and most of our guys came back. So for offense, it was pretty much easy, just pick up where we left off.
Did you get any interest from the NFL after the
I had
Offensive Player of the Year?
had a few calls. I had a workout with the Saints. I was with the Saints in 2017. I had a great workout. They gave me a physical, said they would sign me if someone gets hurt, but heard that before. But, just controlling what I control. Be ready for the call if it happens.
And let me give you. So you got. When would your season officially end? Like,
Hopefully in July 3rd. Hopefully it's a championship game.
That's when our season ends, July 3rd.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
so it's July 3rd.
Yeah.
How is that? So you're gonna go July 3rd, right? So you've gone through conditioning, you've gone through training camps, you've gone through a whole season in the playoffs. You get a call from a pro team, you go right back to camp.
Oh, for sure.
How is that? How do you prepare your body for something like that? Like, that's crazy.
The thought process behind that is we're already in shape and game ready, as opposed to a young guy that's coming in. You don't know what they've been doing on their break. They could have been, I got drafted, or I'm on the team. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go to Miami, go partying, while we're in season. We're working. We're already in that football mode. So we hope that when that time comes, USFL guys are already ready, as opposed to guys on the street.
Right.
They might not be in shape and things like that. So when we finish, I think there's a 3-week or 2-week gap before teams have to start back reporting. So hopefully that's when the USFL guys get the call.
Yeah, speaking on that, I got a few comments like when I came in the building with the Saints, Vito, you should already be in shape. Like, they already expect, and I was in shape. I was already ready to go. So like Boogie said, we're already in it and you just stay in it. So it's beneficial.
What's the difference between the USFL and the NFL? You've been in NFL camps.
Yeah.
Is it the speed, the size? Where's the biggest
I
difference?
honestly think it's just the money and the amount of fans that watch. Everything else is pretty much the same. Few rule shifts, but other than that, 5 yards is still 5 yards. You still got big athletic guys like Boogie trying to take you out. Pretty much the same thing. Football is football. I think the only slight difference is just the quarterback play. There's some elite quarterbacks, but the skill positions, interior, and all that pretty much.
So you think the skill positions in the NFL and the
absolutely.
USFL are equivalent?
Absolutely. There's obviously just some handful of guys that are better than others, but the mass majority are just about the same.
Fit in that little pocket. Okay,
Yeah,
I got
for
you.
sure.
Wow.
Sure.
This is crazy. Like, when you talk about the USFL, and I thought about it, if you were, say, for instance, a high school kid, would you consider if high school kid said, look, I want to get paid today, and they were 5-star kid, they decided, maybe place a position, not in the trenches, because in the trenches it could be, still grown men down there. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge leap between 18 and grown man.
Right.
But if you're a receiver, if you're a DB, could you forever envision a guy coming down and being like, I'm going to just go from high school and just get right to the USFL?
I'm not gonna lie. With that money, that NIL money they give in colleges today,
Like-
I love the USFL. I'm pro USFL all day. I'm not touching. If I can go sit in college and get NIL money, as opposed to coming to the USFL, I'm taking that money. But everybody's path is different. There might be a fringe guy who believes he has the talent. He might not have a big NIL deal and wants to go test the waters. That's when I can see the USFL going to poach those guys.
Yeah. I would say stay in school, get your education. That's what I would say. But, I mean, it's tough. It's not like it's a walk in the park now. You still got professional athletes. It's hard. It's guys that made in the league and get cut in USFL. So, I mean, it's all about opportunity. And if it makes sense for you, but that's something you will have to figure out yourself with your family and stuff like that. But,
And so talk about that mentality a little bit. Like, I feel like if you played in the USFL or you doing that, like, that's the trenches. Like, that's like, that's like when you gotta really actually love the game, and you gotta really be about trying to make that ultimate goal, because I don't think that you could be down there playing around if you ain't really trying to get it.
I think you got to have some type of goals, especially devoting your time and all your energy to doing anything, even if it's acting or playing professional football. So you have to be devoted in some way. You got to have some type of goal and work towards it, whether it's just to play football on TV or feed your family or make it to the NFL, whatever it is. You have to be goal driven and stay consistent, because it's not easy. Everyone can't do it. You're still part of the 2%, because there's thousands and thousands of young men that want your spot. So you just got to want it and go after it.
Darius, when we were setting this up, the USFL sent me a couple of links to do some research on you, and it said you squat 650 pounds.
I've done that before. I don't really lift no more. My thighs, my thighs are bigger now. So my thing now is to be fast, be as quick as possible. But yeah, I've lifted a lot of weight in my past life for sure.
Do you feel like you've beat the gym? Like, have you officially, if you're too strong, your thighs are too big, you just beat the gym? Is that how it feels?
It's gotten to a point that I had to like stop doing curls in college because my arms are kind of short and the ball wouldn't fit comfortable in my arms. So like I've gotten to a point like, okay, I don't really need this. So I wouldn't say you always can improve and maintain, but I think I've defeated the gym, quote unquote.
What's the most you squat?
Must be
650?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What's Chubb? What did Chubb squat?
I think
do
he
we
did
know?
6.
I
50
think,
right around
yeah,
there?
I think he just repped that twice. Chubbs is different now. He's an animal. He likes lifting though. I could tell because he's still doing it on his
There's
spare
what
time.
NFL backs do you kind of, not necessarily monitor your game after, who do you enjoy watching?
I think the best back in the league is Nick Chubb. Honestly, Nick Chubb. I like Alvin. I like Dalvin. I like guys like that could make something out of nothing and always a home run hitter type of thing.
See, so let's get to this, man. I forgot to ask y'all, right? So usually I have, we have athletes. We have Phil Taylor in. We've had CC Sabathia in the building. So we ask him all the time. I even asked Brad. He told me, hey, you can't be asking me everything. I mean, still asking him questions, So what, because I be seeing y'all. I done seen 2 of y'all pull up here with the Balenciagas on, and I'm confused. That's twice that I seen. Boogie had them on too. Maybe y'all got them on the same. Y'all maybe it's the Canton trip. Now the Balenciagas. I see him got them on too, right? Yeah, them is fly. Them is fire. He got the essentials on. He got the essentials.
That's that offensive player of the year money.
Listen, that's why I asked him. Because you technically are professional athletes, right?
Yes.
How they get a camera?
Yeah, we got cameras all up under
Hey,
the
McNuggets, you a fool.
That's really different.
Hey, McNuggets, you a fool.
What is the dumbest thing you've purchased as a professional athlete?
Dang.
That
I
you
can't
look back
confirm.
when
He
you look back
does
and say,
ask everybody this question.
what was that, dog?
What did I say?
You said you had a Porsche 911.
Oh yeah, I told you that story. Yeah, the
Oh
one
my
I wasn't gonna
gosh.
pick up in the store.
Well, I don't really spend my money. Everything that I got nice, someone else got it for me, to be honest. But it was this one time I was on a date, and I bought this $200 fish, and that made me so angry because the way the waitress, it was like, you should get this, that, boom, boom, boom. I'm like,
Finesse.
what? I'm like, yeah.
This after the
Finesse.
soft walk on
Boom,
the
came
beach.
out,
Yup.
big fish. I'm like, cool. It was all right. It wasn't even all that. Bill came out. The fish itself was $200. I said, what? Well, you ain't telling me this, but I was upset. I was livid. I ain't gonna lie to you.
The fish itself.
I could have ate for a month off $200.
Like I hate. Don't you hate when the sides? What you mean the sides is extra? I'm used to. Here's where you go to an expensive restaurant when the sides is not included. When the sides, when them Brussels sprouts is like. They're like, yeah, this is shareable sizes. No, it's not. First of all, we don't share. Second of all, them Brussels sprouts should not be $55. What the hell are we doing here, Jason? That's why I make these dudes. See, I'm the youngest.
That's how Spirit Airlines do you.
We talked about Spirit. Don't even get us started. You know they came out with a poll that Spirit was rated top 2 under Delta. I seen it yesterday on Twitter.
Who's voting on this?
I don't know. I saw that on Twitter too.
I have no clue how.
Go
I'm
Spirit.
telling you, when you look, and the flight is $22.
The
And by the
bag.
time you check 2 bags in
You might
and
as-
buy a water, it's $550
you want to breathe?
one
You want
way.
to breathe? It's $75 for the oxygen.
Facts. Yeah, they
make you open the window like before you land. They be like, "Oh, can you please pull the window up?" And
They
I've
did
never
wrong.
understood why they do that, but I guess I have no clue.
Boogie, what's the dumbest thing you done bought? You done bought something dumb. You done bought something that it was just unacceptable.
Nuggets, why we didn't put this question in the?
They wasn't.
the
This all
rundown
off the
so I
top.
could've
This is a G. Bush special.
This
I
is
had nothing
special.
to do with this.
I'm trying to think something that's stupid.
Nothing.
Nothing. I think I tried like some $100 golden wings. I guess that'll be
Bro, that's way up here.
yeah.
That actually goes to the top. Tell me about these $100 gold wings. I seen 2 Chainz eat some gold wings one time.
I think it's it was a presentation that sold it.
Did it taste different? I mean,
it
I
looked
love
like gold dust after I got done.
Right,
eating.
for
But yeah, I just seen somebody else get it, and then I like wings, and I was like, I guess I'd try them, and I didn't look at the price because it was just like that's what they're known for. I'm trying to remember the place, and I ordered them, but then when I seen the bill, it was the wings that I thought it was the added gratuity on there. That was without a tip. The wings was $100, so I feel like that was the most dumbest thing I've probably spent money on.
These dudes in there, $100 wing.
Food. Both of them. Food.
Hey,
Food,
listen
right?
here.
That's better than a car.
It is.
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, look.
I didn't mean that.
Jason's dumbest purchase was the car too.
No, my dumbest purchase was a timeshare. That was
Oh,
You a
Hey,
timeshare?
listen.
No.
hey.
Here, first of all,
Where's that?
that's worse than a car, right?
I said that.
the dumbest, well, I did a lot of dumb stuff. Like the dumbest purchase I had was like I canceled a wedding just because I was petty, and it cost me like
That's true.
$24,000. It was like, you know what, you acting up to that. We ain't getting married, and it cost me $24,000.
On a date,
Or like 3 weeks before the wedding, had to call all my people and tell them they had flights, and then I still ended up getting married, and then I had to pay all them people flights
you
back.
a different breed.
Yeah, all them flights.
You a different breed. You canceled the wedding 3 weeks before and still got married.
Yeah, like and
How
then
you pull that off? That's why you be stressed coming up here. I know she hang that over your head every time you piss her off.
No, we got divorced. That was 18 months later, and that was out of here. And then while we was there on the second wedding, we bought a timeshare.
Did you really?
Yeah.
My timeshare.
Wait a minute. The second wedding to the same
My God.
same person?
Yeah.
What?
So you canceled the wedding, ended up getting married, and then y'all got divorced and got married again?
No. We didn't get divorced. We didn't get married
It's like
again.
a 30-minute story.
Oh, yeah, don't get
Don't get into those.
Please don't get
I'm interested.
But the
You
timeshare.
gotta have
like
a
a
lot of
lifetime
time. You gotta
movie.
have,
Oh,
you gotta have a lot of
that's
time.
crazy.
for
You
this
go sit down
You gotta have
with
a lot
us,
of time
we
for
gonna
this.
hang out, we tell
Get
you
some
stories.
lunch.
I
Let's
did
go
buy that
all through it.
timeshare, and Jason will tell you that damn timeshare, like they made it seem so good. And I just now, by the way, if you get divorced, you still got to pay that. So I ended up getting the timeshare and the divorce, and then had to pay it off.
I got out of it, but it was brutal.
Oh no!
Brutal.
These guys are like loan sharks. They're like you will do something. I had to pay like $5,000 to sell it back to them.
Oh, it was. We got ours in Vegas. We weren't even married yet. My wife and I weren't even married yet. We were just dating, and I was up like $800 on the trip, and I
Feeling
came
good.
home down $15,000 because we bought a timeshare.
And that's what it was.
And then I got out of it, and then I had to go back into place and like give them all this money to get out of it. And you see all these other sheep in there, and they're doing the sales pitches, and I'm like walking through there going, "Don't do it! Don't do it! It's the worst thing you can do."
The free tickets to the Bellagio,
It ain't
worth it. Do never go and let them tell you that's an investment that is not.
I don't know who's worse, the timeshare people or like the people with the little booths in the mall. I just keep my head down and keep
Oh,
walking.
the kiosk people?
Yeah.
They be getting me every time.
Back in the day.
And they guilt trip you too. They look at you, you look at them, they look dun, 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 dun.
And
Eyes all big.
And see, they always keep the nice, cute girls in the kiosk, and they be like, "Hey, sir, do you want to? you want a motorized
And
helicopter?"
they always got a deal that just sounds a crazy deal.
I'm like, I'm 40. I don't need no motorized helicopter. I'm like, sure, give me 3. Do you take cash or credit? They're like,
That's stupid.
Yeah, back in the day. See, Brad, Brad has that thing. You know, he got he the grumpy old dude. He has no soliciting. Like Brad don't buy Girl Scout cookies. He don't buy candy bars for the youth. He like, listen, I'm gonna give you some.
Look
advice.
how he looking at you. Look how he looking at you.
That's his face. As you trying to sell him on why you should. Hey, you trying to buy some of these cookies? No, I don't eat cookies. I don't eat none of that.
You can't get $1 out of him,
And
huh?
you shouldn't be eating them neither. That's why you big. That's why it be going down, man. What we got, McNuggets?
So we're gonna do final takes. I didn't know if Darius was gonna stick around, but Darius, I'll explain what final takes are.
He
and
ain't
Boogie,
going nowhere. He here.
Then you're sticking around for final takes. So
There
what
it
final
is.
takes are is each person gets 60 seconds, one-on-one with the camera, to give us whatever's on your mind. It could be sports, food, whatever you want. We'll start with Brad. We'll go down the line.
Why you
And
start with
you.
me?
He just made him give one. You got
I
something?
don't know. This.
Brad's up first, though.
All right, let's go to the final takes here, man. I'm gonna go back to the topic at hand today. People are really disturbed about these Cavaliers.
Oh, they are?
Oh my God. I had to hear a mouthful in the gym last night.
They be catching you.
I was like, relax. Play the long game here. Everybody don't panic. Remember how tough it was here post LeBron. right? You made a step forward, took some steps back in the last series. The question now is, what will you do between the end of the playoff run and the start of the season next year to put yourself in a better position, right? Now, I know all the response from the Cavaliers has been status quo, leave it the same. That's the response you're going to get. I don't care if you're in Chicago, LA, that's all they're going to tell you, right? The proof will be in the pudding. Relax. We got some adjustments to make. I know that they know that. And I'm expecting that to happen, right? Just because the nature of this business as I know it. But if you thought, anybody out here that thought that they were going to walk to a podium and tell you that everything that went wrong, they're going to address everything that went wrong, he was leaving, they were leaving, that's not going to happen there. It's not, right? And the other thing out here is, let me just be clear to you. J.B. Bickerstaff is going nowhere. Stop it, right? 51 wins in a season brings him back again. Relax. Long run. That's what we're doing here, long run. Stop it. Now I can go back to the gym and work out in peace.
Boogie, you're up next.
Here we go. Lakers in 6. The Lakers will knock out the sorry Golden State Warriors. LA versus everybody. Anthony Davis will have an amazing series. LeBron James will continue to show you why he is still one of the top 3 greatest players in the NBA. The Pittsburgh Maulers have the best defense in the USFL.
Wow.
The next time the Pittsburgh Maulers play the New Jersey Generals, star running back Darius Victor will not run over anybody on our team like he did. What else do we have? Pineapple does not go on pizza. I am an all flats guy. I do not like drums. What else we got here? Don't be surprised if the Philadelphia 76ers upset the Boston Celtics. That win last night was huge without Joel Embiid. I expect him to come back Game 3 in Philadelphia, and they will take over home court advantage. And Cavalier fans, just take it easy. Give Donovan Mitchell one more year with this squad and before you just already ready to ship him off. So that's my final take from
When do you
Boogie.
guys play each other?
See y'all next week. We play each other, I think, the last game of the season, I believe. Week 10, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Darius, you're up.
Okay.
I just threw a bunch of random stuff out there.
I think draft week can just happen for all the guys that didn't get drafted, didn't get signed. Keep your head up, man. Control what you can control. Don't let anyone put a title on your worth. Just stay ready for your opportunity, and if it's not supposed to happen, it will happen. If it's not, probably not in God's plan. But also, don't ever stay too long away from what you love, whether it's USFL, XFL, semi-pro, indoor. If you love playing football, I say you chase it for as long as possible. If not, move on to something else. You had a great run. Also, Forrest Gump is the 3rd greatest human being to walk this earth. Jesus, my children as a whole, when I have them, then Forrest Gump. He's done everything. Candy Crush is for all ages, not just old people. I love Candy Crush. And Pittsburgh Maulers will not beat the New Jersey Generals.
A man can hope. Jesus.
I mean, I don't think so. What else? What else is there? You guys in Cleveland should learn how to drive in the rain because it rains all the time, so you should really be used to it. What else is there? I'm just flats, drums, whatever it is. It's not too big. I'm just beggars can't be choosers. Pause. No, chill out. What else is there? Yeah, man. Just everyone have a great day, man. I love you guys.
There it is. J-Dub.
All right, I don't have a final take. I got to tell you a funny story, though, about last night. Took the family to see Air. Had been wanting to see it. It was a rare night where we didn't have anything to do, so my 12-year-old son, AJ, took him, my wife, and 2 of his friends to see it. And yesterday morning, Earl had called me and said he was doing radio last night, and would I come on? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And, I mean, again, I do have ADD. I just don't do anything about it. So he told me 9:20. I'm like, yeah, got it. Well, as soon as we hung up the phone, I totally forgot about 9:20. So the movie starts at 7:30. He's sitting in the theater at like 9:23. My phone rings. I'm like, man, who's calling? Why is the radio station? Oh no. So I missed the last 15 minutes to Air last night. because I got up out of the theater, walked out of the theater, and did a radio hit with Earl, and then got yelled at for it by my wife. She comes out, she's like, "What are you doing? Who are you on the phone with? Where are the boys?" Like, I'm trying to do radio. So the boys are in the, like, this is the middle of the radio hit. I'm like, boys are in the bathroom, and I was talking to Earl before the show, and he's telling his co-host, "We got to wrap, man. This man's in trouble. We got to get him out of here." So if anyone wants to tell me how Air ends, it was a great movie. The boys loved it because they heard the F word more times in 2 hours than they've heard in 12 years on this planet. And there's a couple funny lines in there, and they just had a great time. So, but now, I mean, I kind of know how it ends. Michael went on to a great career with Nike, but I missed the last 15 minutes of Air because I did Earl's radio show.
You get 30 seconds.
Yeah, man, this is why this is the greatest show to ever live. Because we bring people off the street. We bring people from all different walks of life. We got 2 dudes from the USFL, and they come in and we talk regular. See, a lot of y'all can't do this, man. Y'all be on the radio. Y'all be like, we have to prognosticate about what's going on with the Browns' 2 picks, 35 and 62. Call me 216. Ain't nobody trying to hear that no more. See, if you don't really, you can't kick it, you can't bring your people in. We got them from all different walks of life, and that's why the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is a phenomenon. It's a natural force of power, and we're gonna keep going. We almost up to our year anniversary, and people thought we would never make it, but we did. Sorry for you.
Overtime. See you in a sec.